A letter soared through the sky, carrying shocking news destined for the Xiao residents. The grand hall buzzed with murmurs as an urgent message disrupted the peaceful atmosphere. Xiao Miao slammed his fist, refusing to accept the unexpected decision made without his consent. Lin Bei remained composed, assessing Xiao Miao's heated reaction from across the golden-lit chamber. His eyes glowed with confidence as he addressed Xiao Miao without hesitation or restraint. Xiao Miao clenched his teeth, frustrated by Lin Bei's unshaken demeanor and unyielding stance. Ziyun lounged elegantly, her presence adding weight to the growing tension between them. Her unwavering belief in Lin Bei's potential only fueled Xiao Miao's growing resentment. Lin Bei smirked, dismissing Xiao Miao's complaints as insignificant obstacles in his path. A notification flashed before him, signaling another step toward his inevitable transformation. Lin Bei reflected on his past life, a modern man with ordinary aspirations. Fate had thrown him into an unfamiliar world where strength dictated survival. Standing tall, he embraced his new identity within the revered Qingyun sect. His reputation, however, painted him as something far from honorable. Memories of mischievous antics surfaced, haunting his current attempts at redemption. Lin Bei's past actions haunted him, filled with mischief, bullying, and reckless behavior toward others. Disciples cowered in fear, whispering about Lin Bei's cruelty as his reputation worsened over time. Realizing his situation, Lin Bei panicked, determined to change his fate and survive longer. The system activated suddenly, binding him to a villain's path he never wanted. He grasped the cruel reality, wondering if completing tasks could lead to another solution. Lin Bei wielded his sword calmly, knowing his every move determined his survival chances. Xiao Miao tensed as Lin Bei presented a rare golden pill before the gathered crowd. The pill's immense value stunned Xiao Miao, making him hesitate despite his anger. The Xiao family saw opportunity. Realizing this pill could shift their future advantage, Lin Bei's smirk unsettled him, as if his fate had already been sealed. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, shouting that he had once reached a high cultivation level. Lin Bei raised an eyebrow, unimpressed by Xiao Miao's attempt to boast confidently. Turning away dismissively, Lin Bei made it clear he had no interest in arguing. Ziyun stepped forward gracefully, her expression unreadable as she observed the growing tension. The moment lingered, leaving uncertainty in the air between all three of them. Ziyun recalled past events, revealing Xiao Miao's cultivation progress compared to her rapid growth. Xiao Miao's confidence shattered as he struggled to comprehend the vast difference between them. The system displayed his despair, confirming his luck had drastically declined after this humiliation. Lin Bei smirked, pleased that his villainous actions successfully weakened Xiao Miao's confidence further. With amusement, Lin Bei decided to escalate the situation and push Xiao Miao deeper. Lin Bei confidently pulled Ziyun closer, emphasizing the strength expected from her future husband. His piercing gaze dismissed Xiao Miao entirely, making him feel insignificant before them. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, furious at the realization behind the broken engagement. His anger exploded, believing Lin Bei and Ziyun had humiliated him beyond forgiveness. Losing control, Xiao Miao launched an attack, forcing the onlookers to react instantly. Xiao Miao crashed onto the floor, overwhelmed by the overwhelming power striking him down. Ziyun's fierce energy surged, proving her strength as a formidable cultivator among them. Xiao Miao wiped his face, seething with anger after suffering such a humiliating defeat. Lin Bei remained calm, unfazed by Xiao Miao's insults and desperate attempts to retaliate. With a smirk, Lin Bei reminded him that true strength required more than arrogance. Ziyun's words cut deep, making Xiao Miao furious as he struggled to regain control. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, refusing to accept the overwhelming humiliation he had suffered. His anger exploded, vowing to return stronger and reclaim his lost honor. Lin Bei watched amused, unimpressed by Xiao Miao's desperate declaration of future revenge. Without hesitation, Lin Bei struck, ending Xiao Miao's tantrum before it escalated further. Xiao Miao crashed hard, his body struggling to withstand the force of Lin Bei's attack. Lin Bei stood confidently, the system rewarding him for suppressing another supposed destined child. Two elders from the Xiao family intervened, their expressions filled with growing concern. They understood the consequences of further antagonizing someone as dangerous as Lin Bei. Xiao Zhangge, the family head, weighed his options carefully before making a firm decision. A woman named Gu Yue appeared, offering support to the injured Xiao Miao immediately. Her presence strengthened Xiao Miao, restoring some of the luck he had lost earlier. Lin Bei realized cutting ties between Xiao Miao and Gu Yue would not be easy. He smirked, mocking Xiao Miao's reliance on others to escape his repeated failures. Xiao Miao's frustration grew, knowing Lin Bei saw through his every weakness instantly. Lin Bei smirked, mocking Xiao Miao's hypocrisy for rejecting Ziyun while welcoming another woman. His words struck deep, exposing Xiao Miao's lack of honor and self-awareness. Ziyun giggled, entertained by Lin Bei's sharp remarks toward Xiao Miao's desperation. Gu Yue reassured Xiao Miao, encouraging him to stay focused despite the humiliation. Lin Bei watched amused, knowing Xiao Miao's frustration would only worsen with time. Xiao Miao's confidence crumbled further as the system revealed his continuously declining luck. Lin Bei remained unfazed, pleased by the results of his perfectly executed plan. If not for the system, Lin Bei might have mistaken Gu Yue's loyalty. Xiao Miao reached for her support, but frustration clouded his judgment completely. Unable to handle the shame, he lashed out, pushing Gu Yue aside. Lin Bei stepped forward, effortlessly catching Gu Yue before she hit the ground. Xiao Miao turned away, overwhelmed by his anger, shame, and complete loss. Ziyun watched as Xiao Miao stormed off, refusing to accept his own defeat. With the matter settled, Lin Bei signaled for everyone to move forward. The day ended peacefully, leaving behind a lingering sense of victory and change. The system consumed villain points, granting Xiao Miao a rare opportunity to regain his strength. A figure landed silently on the rooftop, observing Xiao Miao's destined moment in the night. Lin Bei smirked, deciding Xiao Miao was unworthy of this opportunity and needed intervention immediately. Under the moonlit sky, a mysterious presence disrupted the peaceful silence of the mountain. A startled figure plunged into the freezing lake, his scream echoing through the darkness. As he struggled, a glowing object beneath the water drew his attention immediately. A spirit figure emerged, questioning the truth behind the supposed treasure hidden in the lake. Doubt clouded his mind as his expectations shattered before him completely. Lin Bei observed the scene, standing confidently with something valuable hidden in his grasp. The system acknowledged his success, rewarding him generously for stealing Xiao Miao's opportunity. With a smug expression, Lin Bei reveled in his ability to manipulate fate effortlessly. A mysterious lock sealed the hidden power, preventing it from being easily accessed. He casually dismissed destiny, believing that true fortune belonged to the strongest alone. A figure descended from above, catching Lin Bei's attention under the moonlight. Gu Yue questioned his presence, sensing an unusual energy radiating from his demeanor. Lin Bei smirked, effortlessly shifting the conversation toward her unexpected beauty. His words carried a charm, creating an undeniable tension between them both. Gu Yue's sharp gaze remained wary, determined to uncover his true intentions quickly. Gu Yue launched a powerful strike, aiming directly at Lin Bei without hesitation or mercy. Lin Bei countered smoothly, deflecting her attack while maintaining complete control over the situation. Gu Yue staggered back, realizing Lin Bei's strength was far greater than she expected. Determined, she prepared another attack, unwilling to back down from the intense confrontation. The moon illuminated their silhouettes, setting the stage for an unavoidable battle between them. Lin Bei smirked, playing along as if indulging in a dramatic performance under the moon. The system rewarded him, recognizing his actions as part of his villainous progression. A powerful guardian appeared, instantly disrupting the tense atmosphere between them. The overwhelming aura of Gu Shu made Lin Bei reassess his current situation carefully. Lin Bei felt paralyzed, unable to move under the immense pressure radiating from Gu Shu. Lin Bei pleaded for a way out, realizing the immense danger he was trapped in. The system provided a desperate solution, breaking through Gu Yue's hidden spiritual protection. Information about Gu Yue's abilities and lineage flashed before Lin Bei's eyes instantly. A critical self-rescue plan activated, transferring lost energy into an ancient hidden technique. Gu Yue made her decision, choosing to eliminate Lin Bei before he caused more harm. Lin Bei stood tall, radiating a terrifying aura while lifting the injured man effortlessly. Pain surged as blood poured from his wound, his desperate plea drowned in overwhelming hostility. The elder's expression darkened, standing protectively beside Gu Yu, his patience reaching its limit. Energy gathered in his palm, radiating a crimson glow, ready to counter the impending danger. The force erupted violently, sending shockwaves through the air, challenging the malicious energy head-on. Lin Bei collapsed, his body trembling from the residual energy tearing through his system. He struggled to speak, revealing a crucial truth about the strange force lurking within. Gu Yue's expression shifted, realization dawning upon her as doubt clouded her thoughts. Suspicion filled the air, leaving the elder contemplating whether to trust the revealed information. A solemn apology followed, acknowledging the dire situation that had just unfolded before them. The elder channeled his energy, surrounding Gu Yue with protective light, scanning for abnormalities. A powerful force pulsed, confirming Lin Bei's words, deepening the gravity of the situation. Rage ignited in the elder's eyes, furious that someone had dared to manipulate her fate. He demanded answers, his voice trembling with anger, determined to find the culprit responsible. Linbei smirked knowingly, glancing at the moonlit sky, withholding a crucial revelation. Linbei watched from the rooftop as Xiao Miao prepared an intricate ritual below them. The elder remained confident, dismissing any concern while Guyu observed with deep suspicion. Xiao Miao activated the formation, summoning a mysterious power that pulsed with fiery intensity. Flames erupted around Xiao Miao, his hands guiding the chaotic energy toward his intended target. A monstrous entity of burning energy materialized, radiating overwhelming pressure across the battlefield. Xiao Miao smirked triumphantly, channeling his energy while controlling the massive fire entity. The ritual intensified, flames engulfing a white tiger that struggled against the powerful force. Xiao Miao commanded the demon refining technique, forcing the fire to devour its prey. The tiger's resistance faded, its body dissolving into pure energy within the raging inferno. Guyue's expression changed, realizing Xiao Miao possessed absolute control over the gluttony water. Thunder rumbled overhead, signaling an ominous shift as rain began pouring relentlessly. Guyue stood amidst the storm, her drenched figure reflecting a newfound realization. Linbei struggled against the restraints, growing impatient as the situation became more complicated. The elder remained silent, ignoring Linbei's frustration while maintaining his unwavering stance. Unexpectedly, Linbei's actions triggered a hidden system reward, granting him valuable villain points. Rain poured over the silent courtyard as a distant voice called out in concern. Ziyun eagerly presented freshly baked food, unaware of the empty surroundings around her. She searched for Linbei, puzzled by his sudden absence from the room. Meanwhile, in the city, Linbei sat bound, frustration growing with each passing moment. His captors remained unbothered, leaving him wondering if they planned to release him soon. Guyue stepped forward, her gaze sharp, sensing an unusual disturbance within the atmosphere. Linbei's mind raced, realizing Guyue's presence would complicate his predicament further. A mysterious system notification echoed, setting an impossible task that made him uneasy. Linbei clenched his fists, refusing to accept such an unreasonable demand without a fight. Panic settled in as the consequences of failure became dangerously clear in his mind. The ominous energy pulsed, signaling an inevitable confrontation looming closer than expected. A glowing portal appeared, urging Linbei to act before it was too late. Xiao Miao's strength remained a concern, especially against the uncontrollable force of gluttony water. A spectral figure hovered, exuding a presence that made everyone cautious and uncertain. The realization struck Xiao Miao's fate was deeply entangled with an unknown ancient force. Linbei's fury erupted as he confronted the undeniable truth unfolding before him. Guyue's expression softened, torn between logic and emotions clouding her judgment. The elder criticized her decisions, frustrated by her failure to see the bigger picture. Accusations filled the air, questioning her understanding of the dangerous situation. Linbei's voice remained firm, emphasizing the inescapable consequences of Xiao Miao's newfound power. A tense silence followed as Guyue hesitated before reacting to Linbei's words. The weight of her thoughts made her question everything she once believed. Linbei's system activated, issuing a new mission that left him in disbelief. A sense of impending doom washed over him as he realized the stakes. Guyue's memory surfaced, recalling childhood moments that shaped her unwavering faith in Xiao Miao. Overwhelmed by emotions, Guyue's body weakened, unable to handle the rising pressure. The elder rushed forward, alarmed by her sudden collapse onto the cold floor. Guyue struggled, revealing her attempt to destroy the seed through extreme measures. The elder's concerns grew, recognizing the dangerous repercussions of her reckless actions. Linbei sensed a shift, realizing something was spiraling out of control faster than expected. Linbei pondered the consequences, realizing the system's tasks depended on Guyue's survival. A smirk formed as Linbei embraced his role, prioritizing self-preservation over unnecessary interference. Linbei realized seeking help from the clan was no longer an option. Frustration built as he searched for alternatives to counter the looming crisis. He accessed the system store, scanning for items that could neutralize gluttony water. Expensive artifacts appeared, each requiring more villain points than he could afford. Linbei sighed, knowing his current resources were far from enough. A cheaper but unusual method caught Linbei's attention within the system store. The technique required mutual cultivation to suppress foreign energy inside the body. Realizing it matched his balance, he hesitated before finalizing the purchase. Energy surged as the technique activated, drawing power into Linbei's body. Meanwhile, the elder prepared to risk everything to protect Guyue. The elder stood firm, unwilling to let Guyue suffer any further harm. Linbei intervened, suggesting an alternative method to save her life. Suspicion filled the air, as tensions escalated between those involved. A powerful presence emerged, radiating an overwhelming force throughout the room. Lin Bei remained composed, knowing he was the only one who could act. The elder hesitated before trusting Lin Bei, warning him of the consequences if anything happened. A powerful presence emerged, radiating hostility toward those interfering in the unfolding situation. Lin Bei stood firm as an immense force struck the ground beside him. He observed the elder's fury, unimpressed by the predictable reaction. Gu Yue stirred, her weakened state slowly recovering from the intense ordeal. Morning sunlight illuminated the quiet room where Gu Yue gradually regained consciousness. Confusion clouded her mind as she awakened in an unfamiliar situation. Lin Bei watched her, knowing the ritual had successfully suppressed the gluttony water. Realization dawned upon Gu Yue as she processed everything that had transpired. Her expression changed, shock overtaking her as she reacted instinctively. Gu Yue's face flushed, her thoughts spiraling into panic as she struggled for composure. Overwhelmed by emotions, she lashed out, sending Lin Bei flying through the air. Lin Bei barely processed the impact before crashing onto the hard ground below. Laughter echoed as Ziyun observed the chaotic aftermath with amusement. Amused by the scene, Ziyun grinned mischievously, anticipating the next turn of events. Ziyun sat in silence, her fingers tightening as emotions swirled in her thoughts. With narrowed eyes, Ziyun gripped her weapon, ready to confront those who abandoned her. Lin Bei clenched his fist, frustration evident as he struggled to suppress his growing emotions. His gaze burned with determination as he focused on surpassing Gu Yue in every possible way. Seated with confidence, he envisioned a future where power placed him above everyone else. Laughter rang through the courtyard, shattering his thoughts and igniting frustration deep inside. Lin Bei turned away, determined to silence every mocking voice through undeniable strength. Lin Bei entered the hall, smirking as everything remained just as he left it. He felt reassured that his absence went unnoticed, easing his restless mind for a moment. A sudden presence behind him sent chills through his spine, his body tensing instinctively. Ziyun's voice, dangerously close, questioned him with a knowing smile, unsettling his confidence. His heart raced as he jumped away, desperate to escape the impending interrogation. Gu Yue's sharp eyes held disappointment, her presence imposing as tension thickened between them. The elder observed in silence, realizing their plans now required careful adjustments. Lin Bei remained quiet, understanding that trust had started to waver among them. They retreated into hiding, their destination a secluded house where secrets remained untold. A man stepped from the doorway, eyes scanning them with curiosity and hidden suspicion. Flames engulfed the remains, casting eerie shadows as Xiao Miao performed a forbidden technique. A confident smirk appeared as he absorbed the power, ignoring the consequences of his actions. A desperate cry echoed, fists clenched as Zhang San struggled to stop the reckless ritual. Furious, Zhang San's sword crackled with energy, fueled by anger and deep-rooted desperation. He refused to let injustice prevail, determined to reclaim what was stolen from him. Zhang San lunged forward, grief overwhelming him as his shattered hopes fueled his rage. Betrayal burned within him, his heart weighed down by lost trust and stolen faith. Xiao Miao smirked, unfazed by anger, believing strength justified his merciless choices. The air crackled as power surged, their battle now driven by clashing ideals. Zhang San braced himself, knowing hesitation would lead to inevitable destruction. The distant commotion disturbed the household, concern growing as worried figures stepped outside. A mother held her son close, shielding him from the unfolding chaos nearby. Tears welled as Zhang San's family witnessed the wounded figure lying on the ground. Pain tightened their chests, hearts sinking as harsh reality struck them without mercy. Xiao Miao stood coldly, convinced the fallen deserved his fate for challenging him. Sierra's anger flared as she clenched her fists, unable to contain her frustration. The elder held her back, recognizing the danger of confronting Xiao Miao alone. Xiao Miao's calm smile concealed his intentions as he observed the trembling figures. His presence unsettled them, yet his words carried a chilling sense of certainty. Ziyun's frustration erupted, her disbelief turning into an uncontrollable surge of emotions. The elder warned Gu Yue, urging her to distance herself from Xiao Miao for safety. Gu Yue acknowledged the words, her gaze distant as she prepared to leave everything behind. Disappointment filled Gu Yue's heart as he reflected on the outcome of his actions. A glowing light streaked across the night sky, signaling an unexpected change approaching fast. Lin Bei sat quietly, deep in thought, calculating his next move within the sect. He pondered his return, considering the best way to manipulate circumstances in his favor. His eyes narrowed, sensing an unexpected presence near him, disrupting his peaceful contemplation. Gu Yue stood confidently, her gaze sharp as she confronted him without hesitation. Gu Yue's silence carried weight, her emotions hidden beneath an unreadable expression. Lin Bei smirked slightly, recognizing the lingering hesitation in her unwavering golden eyes. He watched her closely, realizing her presence created an advantage for his schemes. Guyue clenched her fists, battling internal conflict, feeling trapped by the uncertain situation. She refused to let emotions cloud her judgment, though uncertainty still lingered. Lin Bei leaned forward, pressing her limits, determined to see how she would react. Guyue's breath hitched as tension thickened, leaving no room for hesitation anymore. He challenged her resolve, forcing her into an uncomfortable position she could not ignore. The moment stretched endlessly, each passing second weighing heavily on her conflicted heart. Lin Bei observed with satisfaction, knowing the situation was shifting exactly as he desired. Ziyun stepped forward, her heart racing as she noticed something unusual before her. Her eyes widened as she saw Lin Bei in an unexpected situation before her. Tension crackled in the air as confusion and disbelief clouded Ziyun's mind instantly. Without hesitation, she summoned her strength, determined to take immediate action against Lin Bei. A sudden force knocked her off balance as the ship continued its steady movement. Lin Bei quickly realized the situation had escalated far beyond his original expectations. His instincts screamed danger as he noticed an unfamiliar energy surging from below. The flames ignited suddenly, revealing a hidden power source beneath the trembling ground. The super crossbow dragon emerged, its glowing armor absorbing minerals from the burning surroundings. Its presence alone sent a wave of fear through the air, announcing an impending battle. A fiery blast shot forward, tearing through the battlefield with an unstoppable destructive force. Ziyun reacted swiftly, bracing herself against the overwhelming pressure of the incoming attack. A small creature observed from the side, its expression tense with worry and determination. It launched forward, unleashing its own power to counter the destructive energy surging ahead. Lin Bei steadied himself, knowing the battle ahead would test his strength like never before. Lin Bei observed the battlefield, his mind calculating the best approach to handle the situation. The small creature peeked curiously, its eyes reflecting excitement at the unfolding events ahead. Its energy surged with enthusiasm, eagerly anticipating the chaos that was about to begin. Ziyun's frustration grew as she glared at Guyue, unable to contain her anger. Guyue remained firm, refusing to be intimidated by Ziyun's confrontational stance. Sparks flew as their weapons clashed, neither willing to back down from the fight. Their rivalry deepened, each believing the other was standing in their way. Tension filled the air as their fierce expressions revealed their unyielding determination. Lin Bei entered, surprised by the unexpected scene unfolding before him. The small creature followed closely, observing the situation with curiosity. Ziyun and Guyue froze, caught off guard by Lin Bei's sudden appearance. A silent understanding passed between them as they quickly adjusted their expressions. Lin Bei sighed, feeling exhausted from the constant conflicts surrounding him. Lin Bei took a sip of water, grateful for a moment of peace. The small creature cheerfully offered assistance, its enthusiasm brightening the tense atmosphere. An unexpected transformation startled Lin Bei, forcing him to react instinctively. Ziyun and Guyue exchanged glances, both eager to see Lin Bei's reaction. Their rivalry reignited, neither willing to concede their dominance over the situation. Lin Bei observed the small creature, curious about its sudden appearance before him. The creature responded energetically, bouncing around with an unexpected level of enthusiasm. Lin Bei listened carefully, realizing the creature had encountered a dangerous situation earlier. The mention of the super crossbow dragon made Lin Bei recall his recent battle. The creature celebrated joyfully, excited to share its side of the incredible encounter. Guyue observed Lin Bei, skeptical of his ability to understand the creature's language. Ziyun watched closely, intrigued by the unexpected connection forming between them. Lin Bei hesitated, realizing he needed more information about the creature's mysterious origins. The system's notification revealed a costly price for uncovering the creature's true identity. The atmosphere shifted as everyone focused on the small creature, awaiting Lin Bei's decision. Lin Bei decided to call the small creature Yaya, noticing its excited response. Lin Bei stood at the edge of the sect, contemplating his next move as energy swirled around him. With a swift motion, he unleashed his technique, sending a powerful wave surging through the surroundings. The force carried him high above the mountains, approaching an unfamiliar sect nestled in the valley. He landed smoothly, scanning the area as Ziyun, a pink-haired woman, appeared with sharp eyes. Ziyun stepped forward, her stance firm, questioning Lin Bei's sudden arrival with a fierce expression. Ziyun's frustration grew as she glared at Lin Bei, clearly displeased by his unexpected presence. A goose waddled nearby, its clueless stare contrasting the tense atmosphere between Ziyun and Lin Bei. Lin Bei ignored Ziyun's growing anger, shifting his focus toward the oblivious bird standing idly. The goose honked, refusing to acknowledge Lin Bei's presence as Ziyun's irritation reached its peak. Lin Bei swiftly roasted the goose, completing a system task and earning more villain points instantly. Lin Bei arrived at a grand sect's entrance, recognizing its towering structures from his past experiences. Memories resurfaced as he recalled the challenges that had once defined his journey within these walls. A large crowd filled the sect's courtyard, marking the annual recruitment of new disciples. Lin Bei observed, wondering how many would prove worthy to train under his guidance this year. A sudden system alert warned him about an unknown figure possessing extraordinary hidden potential. The sect was filled with famous disciples, each ranked by their overwhelming charm and presence. Xiaofang and Xiaohuang stood confidently, their popularity rising as their reputation spread across the sect. Hanzong observed the rankings while enjoying his snack, feeling indifferent about the ongoing competition. A sudden wave of admiration overwhelmed him as excited disciples rushed forward calling his name. Annoyed by the distraction, Hanzong tried to clear his thoughts and focus once more. He held the golden plaque, contemplating whether popularity could truly influence his cultivation progress. His fingers trembled as he read the words, revealing an unexpected advancement in cultivation rank. The book displayed the cultivation levels, each stage representing mastery over profound spiritual abilities. Qi refining strengthened spiritual energy, while foundation building granted control over mystical flying swords. Golden core allowed flight, marking the beginning of true cultivation potential among elite practitioners. Hanzong continued reading, discovering the immense power that awaited him in higher cultivation stages. Nascent soul provided the ability to project one's consciousness beyond the physical realm. The soul transformation stage refined the spirit, enhancing one's existence into a superior life form. Fusion stage merged body and spirit, restoring one's being to its most original, perfect form. Transcendence and Mahayana stages promised divine mastery, reaching heights unattainable by ordinary cultivators. Hanzong realized only supreme sects possessed the powerful fusion stage across the vast 9 continents. A thought consumed his mind as ambition grew, believing ultimate power would grant him limitless freedom. Hanzong laughed confidently, while others observed, doubting his presence at the grand ceremony. The disciples mocked him, believing his ambitions were foolish compared to the powerful sect members. Hanzong's dazed expression caught attention as Lin Bei recognized him as a destined individual. A glowing interface displayed Hanzong's details, revealing surprising information about his unique abilities. Lin Bei was stunned, questioning how someone with such low luck could be important. A warning appeared, labeling Hanzong's artifact as a potential threat to the sect. The mission assigned to eliminate Hanzong's influence had no consequences for failure. Lin Bei grew suspicious, sensing an underlying scheme within the system's strange directives. The system's credibility was questioned, but its influence over sect matters remained unavoidable. Meanwhile, Hanzong continued unaware, eagerly searching for the most beautiful disciples. Hanzong walked across the sect, expecting to find unparalleled beauty beyond normal expectations. He analyzed the rankings, discovering that none exceeded the value he had anticipated. A sudden presence approached, her steps light but carrying an overwhelming aura of authority. Hanzong's attention locked onto Dugu Yu, recognizing her as someone truly exceptional. He checked his artifact, stunned by Dugu Yu's recorded beauty value surpassing everything previously seen. Hanzong examined the artifact, wondering how much power he could gain from Dugu Yu. The golden plaque displayed Golden Core Realm, shocking Hanzong with its unexpected potential growth. Hanzong grinned excitedly, determined to approach Dugu Yu and secure his advancement. As he rushed forward, another figure had already reached Dugu Yu before him. Seeing the unknown man near Dugu Yu, Hanzong's anger flared uncontrollably with jealousy. Dugu Yu stood calmly as Lin Bei arrived, questioning her presence at the recruitment ceremony. Lin Bei explained that their master had sent her while remaining hidden in seclusion. Suspicious of the excuse, Lin Bei doubted whether the master was truly training seriously. Meanwhile, the sect's amusement park stood in the distance, confirming Lin Bei's suspicions. Immortal Fairy Beyond sneezed unexpectedly, believing Lin Bei was thinking of her negatively again. Immortal Fairy Beyond sat confidently, waiting for the disciple ceremony to reach its conclusion. She was the master of Lingxi Peak, known for her overwhelming authority and wisdom. Determined to uphold discipline, she planned to teach Lin Bei a lesson for doubting her. The grand bell rang loudly, signaling the official beginning of the recruitment event. Qing Ting, the host, stepped forward with excitement, ready to oversee the prestigious ceremony. Qing Ting raised his hand, announcing the first challenge of the prestigious disciple recruitment ceremony. A swirling portal revealed the island's secret realm, where contestants would face unknown trials ahead. Qing Ting introduced the first challenge, revealing 10 islands where contestants would face fierce trials. Each island accommodated challengers who had to locate hidden yin-yang fish to progress. Finding a matching pair ensured advancement, but competition for limited resources would be intense. Only 3 victors would emerge from each island, making every battle a decisive struggle. Defeat meant elimination, but contestants would safely return to the plaza upon their failure. Linbei watched as all participants entered, prepared for the unpredictable challenges ahead. Intense competition awaited, as the first stage demanded quick thinking and decisive action. A lone figure caught Linbei's attention, standing apart from the usual aggressive competitors. On the island's shore, an unusual tension formed between 2 challengers confronting each other. One contestant felt an uncontrollable urge to engage in battle, driven by personal emotions. The fight erupted instantly, with a fierce attack launched without hesitation or second thoughts. A deadly strike aimed to eliminate the opponent, fueled by intense hostility and resentment. A swift counterattack turned the battle around, catching the aggressor completely off guard. The opponent staggered, stunned by the sudden injury that shifted the battle's course unexpectedly. Yunyan's unexpected action left him speechless, realizing the situation had changed entirely. Yunyan gripped the blade tightly, her expression darkening with an unsettling, determined gaze. Her obsession grew stronger as she vowed to protect Hanzong at any cost. Hanzong basked in admiration, surrounded by devoted followers praising his calm and charm. His influence over people continued growing, making him a dangerous presence in the sect. Linbei contemplated eliminating Hanzong before the recruitment ceremony to prevent further chaos. Linbei hesitated, questioning why he suddenly felt an urge to eliminate Hanzong. The Peak Lords observed the event, recognizing an unusual presence surrounding Zixiao Yushu exchanged glances with the elders, sensing the same strange energy affecting them. Fairy Kanglian considered taking Hanzong under her guidance but remained unsure. Duguyu felt uneasy, sensing something unnatural about Hanzong's rising influence. Linbei observed Hanzong, realizing the Peak Masters were also affected by his presence. The system updated Hanzong's status, revealing his newly acquired ability named Devilish Charm. His fortune increased further, solidifying his influence and making him an even greater anomaly. Hanzong laughed triumphantly as another opponent fell, his influence over others continuing to grow stronger. Surrounded by devoted admirers, Hanzong reveled in their praise, his charm making him unstoppable. He saw his ability as a means to reclaim his debts and gain ultimate power. Hanzong envisioned himself ruling over the entire sect, using his charm to dominate completely. Shuyue collapsed, betrayed and wounded, questioning the loyalty that had once bound them together. A desperate grasp at the ground symbolized the last remnants of trust shattered by betrayal. A figure loomed over with menacing intent, eyes burning with anger and uncontrollable hatred. Shadows surrounded the battlefield, dark energy radiating as rage fueled the thirst for vengeance. The intensity of the attack showed no mercy, aiming to destroy everything in its path. Hanzong's adversary lunged forward, determined to eliminate the threat standing before them forever. Blood splattered across the ground as the attack landed, leaving nothing behind but emptiness. The body vanished instantly, proving that elimination here was not truly permanent or fatal. A deep resentment lingered, the feeling of humiliation intensifying within the defeated enemy's heart. The twisted obsession took hold, fueling the desire for absolute retribution against perceived disgrace. Hanzong smirked, knowing that conflicts could be avoided, yet his power only attracted chaos. The dark aura surrounded the woman as the eerie whispers echoed through the gathering crowd. Linbei watched the unsettling scene unfold, sensing a sinister force beyond his understanding. The realization struck hard that the forbidden treasure had corrupted minds beyond saving. Linbei clenched his fist, determined to stop the growing madness before it consumed everyone. The sect grounds shimmered under the sunlight, hiding the chaos brewing within its walls. Biyun carefully placed the small flag, marking the completion of their exhausting challenge. The castle stood tall, a symbol of Biyun's victory and the dedication of her companions. A sudden explosion erupted, shaking the ground and sending shockwaves through the air. A messenger rushed forward, his voice filled with urgency and concern for their leader. Linbei felt a strange shift in energy as new events unfolded around him. The unexpected force sent Linbei crashing into the ground with no time to react. Biyun frowned as she scolded him for destroying their carefully crafted structure. Linbei struggled, pinned down by overwhelming strength, unable to break free. Xiao Li stepped in, her presence diffusing the escalating tension in the situation. Biyun sighed and decided to let Linbei off the hook just this once. Biyun stood confidently as the small spirit floated away, leaving behind a motionless figure. The moment of peace ended as Biyun launched forward, determined to catch the escaping spirit. Biyun stood firmly, her gaze sharp as she listened to the urgent report from Linbei. Linbei clutched his chest, his voice weak as he revealed Hanzong's sinister intentions. Biyun's fury erupted, her movements swift as she launched towards her target with determination. Linbei's expression darkened, his strength waning as he struggled to stay on his feet. Biyun grabbed Linbei's arm, pulling him up as she prepared for their next move. Linbei soared through the sky, his departure leaving Xiao Li reaching out for him. Xiao Li's small figure stood alone, watching as Linbei disappeared beyond the clouds. Hanzong grinned widely, his aura growing stronger as more women surrounded him admiringly. Yunyan's body trembled, blood staining his robes as he questioned the betrayal he suffered. His voice faltered, his final plea lingering as he urged Yunyan to achieve victory. Qingting's voice echoed, his powerful presence commanding the attention of every disciple. A resounding response shook the crowd, frustration filling the air as emotions ran high. His glare swept over them, his words igniting their determination to overcome Hanzong. The disciples' voices united, their conviction clear as they prepared for the approaching battle. A golden light streaked across the sky, signaling the beginning of their awaited confrontation. A sudden explosion erupted, sending shockwaves through the surroundings as dust filled the air. A dark figure emerged from the smoke, exuding a menacing aura as tension thickened. Biyun landed gracefully, her posture confident as she assessed the chaotic battlefield. Hanzong's smirk deepened, his charm subtly affecting those around him without resistance. Biyun's instincts screamed danger, sensing an unnatural pull that clouded her rational judgment. Biyun narrowed her eyes at Hanzong, her senses warning her of his mysterious presence. Linbei explained Hanzong's ability, revealing its power to influence men and captivate women. Biyun clenched her fist, realizing the potential devastation his presence could bring upon them. Hanzong's charm was troublesome, but his weak cultivation provided a chance to neutralize him. The ancient sect records warned of such abilities, detailing ways to counteract their effects. In ancient times, a man with devilish charm at deity transformation stage caused great chaos. He nearly turned all the female cultivators in the world into his devoted followers. This led to a devastating war between male and female cultivators lasting for decades. Linbei looked at Biyun, explaining how the situation was eventually resolved in history. With Buddhist monks' help, the women awakened, uniting to erase him completely from existence. Hanzong's twisted grin widened as his overwhelming influence made him believe all women belonged to him. Enthralled disciples surrounded Hanzong, their admiration clouded by an unnatural charm spreading throughout the sect. Furious disciples, led by Qingting, raised their weapons, determined to eliminate Hanzong's manipulations. Duguyu observed the chaos from above, her sharp gaze locked onto Hanzong's growing influence. Biyun realized even Duguyu and other peak masters had fallen under Hanzong's control. Biyun frowned, knowing the journey to seek the monk's help would take several days. Linbei pondered whether the lost Buddhist technique, Awakening Roar, could remove Hanzong's charm. His system displayed the technique's description, requiring 2,100 villain points to unlock its secret knowledge. Without hesitation, Linbei confirmed the purchase, determined to use Awakening Roar against Hanzong. Linbei turned to his master confidently, announcing that he had learned the Awakening Roar technique. Biyun looked surprised, unable to recall ever teaching Linbei such an advanced Buddhist technique. Linbei nervously scratched his head, unsure how to explain his sudden knowledge of the technique. Biyun smirked, acknowledging the fortunate encounter while remaining suspicious of Linbei's mysterious skills. Linbei's current cultivation level was insufficient to fully awaken everyone under Hanzong's control. A golden light erupted as Biyun intervened, amplifying the technique's power with overwhelming spiritual energy. Biyun handed Linbei a massive golden artifact, urging him to use it immediately. Linbei gripped the artifact tightly, preparing to channel its power with focused determination. He positioned himself at the center, steadying his stance as energy surged through him. The artifact unleashed a powerful resonance, its vibrations spreading across the entire sect. A mysterious force cracked illusions, revealing distorted images that began to shatter into reality. Qingting furrowed his brows, confused by the sudden urge to strike at Hanzong. Yuzhu rubbed his chin, realizing the strange feeling was not his own conscious thought. Fairy Kanglian observed Linbei closely, intrigued by his presence but sensing something unnatural. Zixiao Zhenren contemplated the situation, considering if Linbei's presence was affecting everyone's emotions. Biyun stepped forward cautiously, feeling uneasy as an inexplicable tension filled the atmosphere. Biyun soared above the courtyard, urgently calling out as the last traces of charm disappeared. Yuzhu furrowed his brows, realizing the strange emotions earlier were caused by external manipulation. Sect elders exchanged concerned glances, fearing the charm's influence could bring future calamities. Zixiao Zhenren stepped forward, determined to take action and secure the sect's safety. Linbei raised his hand, assuring the elders that the disciples could handle the crisis. Linbei stepped into the island's secret realm, preparing for an unknown challenge ahead. Zixiao Zhenren determined the mission's failure if Hanzong was eliminated too early. Bion's footsteps echoed as she intervened, urging restraint in dealing with Hanzong's fate. A formation was prepared to prevent Hanzong from escaping with forbidden techniques. Zixiao Zhenren reassured the sect master, confident in handling any possible threats arising. Lin Bei smirked, appreciating moments where he could avoid being forced into villainous deeds. He casually searched for another beauty, unaware of impending danger lurking nearby. Hanzong's expression darkened upon recognizing Lin Bei as the man he despised most. Lin Bei was caught off guard by Hanzong's sudden accusations of betrayal. Hanzong's eyes glowed with murderous intent, swearing vengeance upon anyone who wronged him. A furious woman ordered Lin Bei's execution, pointing towards him with unwavering determination. Her loyal follower responded without hesitation, charging forward to eliminate the supposed enemy. Lin Bei activated the awakening roar, unleashing a powerful shockwave across the battlefield. The woman was struck by the attack, collapsing as confusion clouded her thoughts. Dazed and disoriented, she struggled to comprehend what had happened and where she was. The woman clutched her head, realizing she had attacked Qinglang under an unknown influence. Her thoughts raced in confusion, questioning whether she had truly betrayed Bai Hai's trust. Hanzong glared impatiently, demanding an immediate end to Lin Bei's existence. Lin Bei remained composed, confident that the awakening roar had nullified the devilish charm. Hanzong's fury erupted as energy surged, distorting the battlefield with his overwhelming rage. Lin Bei noticed the island had been evacuated, leaving only himself and Hanzong. He unleashed a golden wave of energy, forcing Hanzong onto the defensive. Hanzong gritted his teeth, realizing Lin Bei's cultivation level far surpassed his own. Desperate, he called upon the book fairy, demanding power to overcome his disadvantage. The temptation of greater strength clouded his thoughts, ignoring the severe consequences ahead. The system deducted points, pushing Hanzong's cultivation to the Foundation Establishment peak stage. A dark aura surrounded him, filling his body with an unnatural and corrupting energy. Lin Bei's expression darkened, sensing an ominous transformation taking place before his eyes. Hanzong laughed maniacally, his body pulsing with raw, unstable power beyond his control. His crazed gaze fixated on Lin Bei, fully consumed by an uncontrollable thirst for revenge. Lin Bei leaped into the air, preparing a powerful strike against the approaching Hanzong. He activated a skill that descended from the sky, consuming villain points for execution. Hanzong struggled to see, overwhelmed by the blinding golden light surrounding him. Panic set in as his vision blurred, unable to comprehend the attack's true nature. A giant golden frog manifested, releasing a devastating impact upon its unsuspecting target. The frog's attack shook the battlefield, leaving Hanzong struggling against its immense force. Lin Bei observed closely, realizing Hanzong lacked the agility to avoid the strike. As the dust settled, Lin Bei spotted something valuable hidden beneath the wreckage. He carefully retrieved the golden artifact, confirming it was the legendary Book of Beauties. Stunned by the absurdity, he couldn't believe Hanzong survived despite the brutal impact. Hanzong clutched the book tightly, refusing to accept defeat after suffering so much. He desperately called upon its power, willing to sacrifice everything for one last chance. A strange energy surged from the book, triggering an unexpected transformation beyond his control. Lin Bei watched in shock, realizing Hanzong had entered an unforeseen second awakening phase. A monstrous figure emerged, its eerie glow signaling the birth of something truly terrifying. Hanzong's transformation was complete, his body engulfed in eerie flames, radiating an immense aura. Inside the confinement array, a mysterious presence stirred, observing the escalating battle outside cautiously. Zixiao Zhenren's eyes widened in concern as he realized Lin Bei was now in danger. Lin Bei remained composed, standing firm despite the overwhelming energy emanating from Hanzong's body. Biyun smirked, confident Lin Bei had already planned ahead for whatever would happen next. Yushu watched from afar, reminding the others to be prepared to intervene at any moment. Deep within the island's secret realm, Lin Bei and Hanzong faced each other. Hanzong cackled wildly, his newly acquired power elevating him to the golden core stage. Lin Bei stared at him unfazed, unimpressed by his opponent's sudden boost in cultivation strength. Hanzong lunged forward, promising to unleash his terrifying golden core powers upon Lin Bei. Hanzong unleashed a powerful energy wave, convinced his newfound strength would secure victory. Lin Bei swiftly deflected the attack, countering the force with effortless precision and control. Hanzong scowled in frustration, realizing his opponent was far more formidable than expected. Lin Bei dodged each strike with ease, displaying remarkable speed and battle awareness. He smirked confidently, preparing to launch his counterattack, shifting the battle's momentum completely. Hanzong roared, determined to unleash his so-called unstoppable golden core powers against Lin Bei. He repeated his battle cry, summoning energy, convinced his attack would dominate the fight completely. Lin Bei stood silently, watching as Hanzong's skeletal hands crackled with purple energy. Hanzong's fury intensified as he desperately tried to prove his overwhelming strength. Lin Bei smirked slightly, realizing his opponent was nothing more than a fool boasting nonsense. Lin Bei analyzed the situation, understanding how golden core energy formed within martial cultivators' bodies. The process involved refining liquid spiritual energy until it compressed into a solid golden core. Once completed, this mysterious formation represented the wielder's true divine power in battle. Lin Bei easily saw through Hanzong's weak attempt at showcasing true golden core mastery. He laughed mockingly, amused by Hanzong's baseless confidence despite his glaring cultivation flaws. Hanzong clenched his skeletal fist tightly, preparing to unleash another desperate attack. He launched an aggressive strike, demanding Lin Bei stop mocking his newly awakened strength. Lin Bei effortlessly dodged, smirking as Hanzong's attack failed to land properly. Hanzong growled in frustration, realizing his speed was no match for Lin Bei's reflexes. Lin Bei casually sidestepped again, proving Hanzong's attacks were ultimately futile in battle. The battle raged on, the intense energy waves shaking the trees and sky violently. Fairy Kanglian studied her cards, maintaining a calm demeanor while observing the unfolding events. She played confidently, her strategic mind focused on outmaneuvering her opponents in the game. The players increased their stakes, each one aiming to secure an overwhelming victory. Biyun turned her attention to the battlefield, seeking updates on Lin Bei's situation. Zixiao Zhenren sighed, explaining how the tide of battle had shifted once again unexpectedly. Hanzong's relentless pursuit continued, forcing Lin Bei to evade every incoming attack carefully. Yushu sensed a change in energy, noticing an unusual fluctuation in their confrontation. The sudden pause in movement left everyone questioning what would happen in the next moment. Hanzong grinned wickedly, believing Lin Bei had finally given up the chase entirely. Lin Bei stood firm, his confidence unwavering as he prepared for the final strike. Hanzong scoffed, refusing to accept Lin Bei's defiance as he charged aggressively. Lin Bei dodged effortlessly, allowing Hanzong to waste more of his precious energy. He calmly revealed his strategy, explaining how spiritual exhaustion would soon weaken Hanzong. Hanzong's fake golden core trembled, showing signs of imminent collapse under unstable energy. Hanzong panicked as his golden core shattered, his power collapsing under immense pressure. Lin Bei smirked confidently, gripping Hanzong's weakened skeletal arm, sensing his impending defeat. With one swift motion, Lin Bei delivered a devastating counterattack, crushing Hanzong completely. Hanzong howled in agony, his skeletal form trembling as his strength rapidly faded. His cries echoed through the battlefield, signaling the final moments of his overwhelming defeat. Lin Bei calmly adjusted his stance, acknowledging how long the battle had been drawn out. He gathered energy in his palm, preparing to unleash a decisive and final attack. The radiant golden energy surged forward, aiming directly at Hanzong's crumbling skeletal body. Hanzong's eyes widened in horror as the powerful strike sent him flying. He crashed violently into the ground, his body unable to withstand the immense force. Hanzong lay motionless, defeated, as the system recognized Lin Bei's overwhelming victory. All of Hanzong's luck transferred to Lin Bei, marking a shift in fate. The system upgraded, rewarding Lin Bei with new villain points and enhanced abilities. The Book of Beauty shone brightly, signaling the system's evolution into its next phase. Lin Bei watched as his newfound power surged, awaiting the system's next unpredictable surprise. Lin Bei stood victorious, announcing Hanzong's defeat and completing the mission successfully. Biyun praised Lin Bei, acknowledging his contribution to resolving the sect's dangerous crisis. Zixiao Zhenren offered Lin Bei an exclusive opportunity to enter the sect's prestigious library. Lin Bei's excitement grew as he realized the rarity of gaining access to such knowledge. Fairy Kanglian announced the sect's decision to hold another recruitment event for disciples. The sect carefully selected 20 new disciples who passed all required tests and trials. 2 days later, Lin Bei arrived at the library pavilion, eager to explore ancient texts. He observed the available training sections, considering which area would benefit him the most. Lin Bei skipped body training techniques, knowing his master had already taught him enough. He also ignored artifact crafting, confident that his system provided all necessary resources. Lin Bei spotted the formation techniques section, but hesitated after seeing an unusual sign. He smirked, recognizing the handwriting and guessing who had placed the warning label. His curiosity led him to an unfamiliar section labeled Unorthodox Methods for Cultivation. Moments later, an ominous presence filled the air as Lin Bei experienced an unsettling sensation. A single drop of blood fell, signaling something strange had just occurred within the library. Lin Bei sat motionless, his body trembling as an unknown force disrupted his meditation abruptly. Blood dripped onto the floor as Lin Bei's body reacted to an unknown disturbance. his face flushed red as he flipped through peculiar books with unexpected content inside. He examined the books carefully, realizing their topics were not suited for cultivation. The unusual book titles made Lin Bei reconsider if taking them would be too dangerous. His curiosity piqued as he reached for more, wondering what other secrets were hidden. The sun began to set, marking the end of Lin Bei's long exploration inside. He stretched lazily, feeling unsatisfied with the library's collection after hours of searching. Most books were either restricted or completely useless for his current cultivation path. Frustration settled in as he realized his entire day had been wasted pointlessly. Suddenly, a strange sensation tingled through his fingers, causing an unexpected sharp pain. Lin Bei examined his hand, confused about when he had received an unknown injury. His eyes widened as he spotted a small yet mysterious bronze sword among the books. Carefully, he picked it up, feeling an unusual energy radiating from the ancient object. A powerful force surged through his body, causing golden energy to swirl violently around him. Lin Bei's surroundings trembled as the sword's hidden power awakened, revealing its true nature. A powerful golden light shot into the sky, signaling an unprecedented phenomenon within the sect. Biyun gazed at the glowing pillar, realizing Lin Bei had triggered an ancient mechanism. Zixiao, standing beside her, acknowledged that their arrangement had unexpectedly led to this moment. Zixiao assured Biyun that the formation he prepared would prevent outsiders from sensing the disturbance. Watching the scene, Zixiao confirmed that Lin Bei had officially become the Qingyun sect's inheritor. As the golden light receded, Lin Bei regained his senses, puzzled by the mysterious occurrence. A sudden surge of energy flowed through Lin Bei, making him aware of an unfamiliar presence. The Horizon of Heaven artifact materialized, revealing its role in unlocking the Qinglian sword manual. Lin Bei stared at the artifact, realizing he had unintentionally obtained something of immense importance. A system message informed him that he needed 9 keys to access the Qinglian secret realm. Lin Bei questioned if retrieving the sword manual required him to defeat the other 8 inheritors. The system clarified that possessing the 9 keys alone would grant access to the secret realm. Lin Bei doubted anyone would willingly give up such valuable artifacts without a serious challenge. He remembered a hidden system function that might assist in collecting the remaining keys. Within the depths of the Qinglian secret realm, an ancient sword manual hovered ominously. Lin Bei held the ancient Qinglian sword manual. Knowing the system could unlock its secrets, a message appeared, revealing he needed either 9 keys or immense villain points to proceed. The 9-states continent divides cultivators into ordinary and inheritance cultivators, each with unique paths. Ordinary cultivators advance gradually, condensing spiritual energy into a golden core through focused cultivation. Lin Bei grips the heaven key, feeling an unknown force awakening deep within his soul. The Qinglian sword manual demands immense energy, shaping inheritance cultivators differently from ordinary practitioners. Lin Bei condenses a second sword-shaped golden core, his destiny shifting toward an uncertain future. Advancing further, inheritance cultivators obtain a powerful nascent soul and a flying sword companion. The sword, infused with his essence, becomes a lifelong partner in battle and cultivation. Lin Bei soars through the stormy skies, feeling the weight of destiny press against him. The one who masters the complete Qinglian sword manual becomes the sole Qinglian inheritor. Lin Bei halts, staring at the impossible price needed to obtain the sealed manual. Frustration builds as Lin Bei realizes he needs 900,000 more points to proceed. He slams a thick book onto the ground, venting his anger at the system's greed. The sect hall shakes from the impact, golden light shimmering through the ancient wooden beams. Controlling spiritual energy is dangerous, and gathering too much risks his Dantian's complete destruction. The system finally responds, offering 3 possible methods to safely withstand the overwhelming energy surge. Lin Bei reviews 3 methods to expand his Dantian but lacks a suitable option. Frustration rises as he realizes his villain points were wasted on an unnecessary purchase. Desperation forces him to consider alchemy as a last resort for Dantian expansion. The exchange system displays an affordable alchemy technique, offering him a possible solution. Golden energy surges through Lin Bei's body as he confirms the exchange with determination. Energy flows into Lin Bei's hands as he feels alchemical knowledge flood his mind. Despite the system's ruthlessness, it grants him instant mastery of 3rd-rank alchemy skills. He examines the 4-element spirit box, realizing its value in refining powerful elixirs. With a determined expression, he heads toward the alchemy room to test his abilities. The scent of herbs fills the air as he prepares to refine his first elixir. Lin Bei successfully refines a top-grade Dantian restoration elixir with precise control. Holding the glowing elixir, he admires its effects and anticipates immediate Dantian expansion. Without hesitation, he consumes the elixir, feeling its energy rapidly flow through him. Intense energy surges within his body, forcing him to direct it toward his Dantian. A sharp pain spreads as the elixir's power integrates, strengthening his cultivation foundation. Lin Bei feels the strengthened Dantian, realizing it can now endure more spiritual energy. He quickly prepares another elixir, determined to push his cultivation to the next level. Without hesitation, he consumes every remaining elixir, absorbing their power at an alarming rate. Laughter echoed from the alchemy room as Lin Bei absorbed the refined energy, feeling its effects strengthening his body and cultivation base. Lying on the ground, Lin Bei relished the power surge, enjoying the effects of consuming 10 high-grade elixirs simultaneously. With his Dantian now holding immense spiritual energy, Lin Bei acknowledged the elixir's quality, knowing their potency surpassed anything he previously used. Understanding the risk of excessive consumption, Lin Bei decided to refrain from elixirs for several months, allowing his body proper recovery. Preparing to visit the market for rare herbs, Lin Bei suddenly felt a familiar sensation, signaling a new task appearing unexpectedly. Under the moonlight, Ziyun observed Lin Bei from afar, impressed by how effortlessly he handled challenges that others struggled to overcome. Walking forward, Ziyun pondered what Lin Bei had obtained from the cultivation pavilion, eager to uncover any secrets he might hide. Noticing someone nearby, Ziyun called out, trying to get closer, her curiosity intensifying about what Lin Bei was truly planning. Blocking her way, Gu Yue appeared suddenly, questioning Ziyun's presence, her sharp gaze revealing doubt about her intentions that night. Ziyun smirked, teasingly mentioning unfinished business, expecting an interesting reaction, determined to uncover the truth about Lin Bei's recent endeavors. Gu Yue remained composed, dismissing Ziyun's suspicions, making it clear that she had no interest in anything involving Lin Bei's matters. Ziyun scoffed, insisting that Gu Yue was pretending, believing she understood Lin Bei's preferences better than anyone else possibly could. Frustration grew between them as neither backed down, both determined to prove their own perspective on Lin Bei's personal choices. Before their argument could escalate further, an unexpected noise from the shadows alerted them, forcing their attention toward an unknown presence. A voice emerged from the darkness, calling them out, revealing they were not alone, making them realize something had been lurking. Gu Yue chased after the fleeing figure, determined to stop them before they could escape into the dense forest ahead. Standing firm, Gu Yue unleashed a precise technique, sending a whip-like energy attack streaking through the air toward the target. The attack moved swiftly, cutting through the darkness, closing in on the mysterious figure as they desperately tried to flee. The whip coiled around the person's leg, tightening instantly, preventing any further movement as they struggled to free themselves. The force yanked them off balance, causing them to crash onto the ground as dust and leaves scattered in every direction. The masked figure groaned, struggling against the energy restraint, but Gu Yue's technique ensured they couldn't escape easily this time. Ziyun and Gu Yue stood over the fallen figure, eyes narrowing, trying to assess the reason for their suspicious behavior. The figure's hand twitched, fingers grasping at something hidden, causing Ziyun's curiosity to spike as she took a cautious step closer. A faint glow emerged as a small orb rolled from the figure's grasp, catching the moonlight as it reflected softly. Ziyun's eyes widened slightly as she leaned forward, examining the mysterious object, unsure of its true purpose or hidden potential. The orb pulsed suddenly, releasing a powerful energy wave, making the surroundings tremble as Ziyun and Gu Yue stepped back. The energy surged outward, sending dust and wind spiraling, pushing the two back as they braced against the force. The explosion illuminated the dark forest, momentarily revealing a towering shadow before the entire area was engulfed in thick smoke. Through the swirling debris, a figure emerged, their silhouette shifting unnaturally as the mysterious energy continued distorting the atmosphere. Gu Yue's gaze sharpened, sensing something dangerous had just awakened, realizing this situation was far more serious than expected. Ziyun felt a chilling presence near her, an unsettling sensation creeping up her spine as darkness loomed ominously behind. The masked figure's golden eyes gleamed through the mist, gripping a weapon tightly, preparing for an unexpected and decisive confrontation. Ziyun and Gu Yue hung from the tree, struggling, realizing their predicament was far from over after their unexpected capture. Lin Bei stood nearby, observing their situation, knowing his actions had consequences, yet feeling oddly satisfied with the system's reward. The system notification confirmed the completion, granting villain points, reinforcing Lin Bei's role while making him question its ultimate purpose. Lin Bei removed his mask, feeling discomfort, his mind processing the system's demands, considering whether following orders was truly necessary. The system message detailed his task, emphasizing rewards, forcing Lin Bei to comply, despite his increasing doubts about its influence. Lin Bei sighed, acknowledging his situation, shifting responsibility to the system, unwilling to take blame for its questionable commands. Lingxi Peak stood tall in the distance, an imposing sight, contrasting with the chaotic events unfolding due to Lin Bei. Ziyun, furious, unleashed her energy, chasing Lin Bei with fierce determination, unwilling to let his actions go unpunished. Flames erupted as Ziyun's attack surged forward, fueled by frustration, aiming to make Linbei face the consequences of everything. Linbei hesitated, realizing they knew his involvement, puzzled by how his disguise had failed despite his precautions during execution. Ziyun's fiery attack blazed forward, engulfing the air, leaving Linbei with only moments to react before impact occurred. Panic set in as Ziyun realized her power had exceeded expectations, the attack growing uncontrollable, endangering everything nearby. The explosion shook Lingxi Peak, sending shockwaves across the landscape, forcing everyone to acknowledge the sheer destructive force unleashed. Time passed, the battlefield settled, leaving Ziyun and Guyue exhausted, frustrated by the unexpected turn of events. Linbei approached, sensing tension, knowing explanations were necessary, aware their trust had been shaken by his recent actions. Ziyun launched a fiery attack toward Linbei, her frustration fueling the flames as he quickly dodged to avoid destruction. Realizing the explosion's impact, Ziyun panicked, knowing she had unleashed something far beyond her intended level of control. The mountains trembled as the blast struck, leaving a smoldering crater where Linbei had barely managed to escape. Time passed, and the battlefield quieted, with Ziyun and Guyue exhausted, both recovering from the unexpected chaos. Linbei approached, sensing tension in the air, knowing he needed to address the situation before it escalated further. Du Guyu arrived, announcing the upcoming three-sex conference, revealing that Linbei and Guyue were required to participate. Guyue, surprised by the decision, realized the importance of the event and the implications it carried for their future. As evening approached, the lingering exhaustion from the day's events faded, replaced by new concerns regarding their upcoming journey. Ziyun contemplated the duration of the conference, realizing it would be a crucial period for growth and unforeseen challenges. Tension lingered in the air, an unsettling feeling creeping into Ziyun's mind as she sensed something unusual happening nearby. Ziyun suddenly felt uneasy, looking around, trying to understand the strange sensation that sent a chill down her spine. Du Guyu noticed the shift in atmosphere, questioning what was happening, while Guyue examined their surroundings carefully. Ziyun's expression darkened as she realized something was missing, piecing together the clues of an unusual disturbance around them. The system issued a new task, forcing Linbei into another dilemma, pushing him toward further unpredictable consequences. Linbei sighed, frustrated with the system's demands, knowing resistance was futile as another wave of trouble loomed ahead. A few days passed, and Linbei sat on the rooftop under the moonlight, lost in thought while playing music. His melody echoed through the night, carrying emotions of longing and sorrow, resonating under the clear sky filled with stars. The tune drifted across the rooftops, filling the silent sect with a melancholic atmosphere that felt strangely peaceful yet unsettling. From within a room, Biyun stirred, disturbed by the unexpected music, her consciousness pulling her out of deep sleep. The soft breeze carried Linbei's melody, stirring emotions in those who heard it, creating an ambiance of bittersweet nostalgia. The disturbance woke Biyun, her drowsy expression changing as she realized the culprit responsible for the noise disrupting her rest. Linbei remained on the rooftop, immersed in the melody, oblivious to the growing frustration his song had caused. The night air trembled as Biyun's frustration boiled, energy gathering as she decided to deal with this immediate nuisance. Linbei's system issued a task, forcing him into this midnight performance, leaving him questioning its absurd sense of logic. His melody continued, though tension thickened as he sensed incoming danger, realizing his peaceful night might soon end violently. A blinding explosion illuminated the entire sect, resembling daylight, shocking everyone awake as the energy wave spread rapidly. Ziyun stirred, confused by the brightness, her mind struggling to determine whether morning had arrived earlier than expected. Annoyed, Ziyun turned over, frustrated by the relentless disturbance, determined to ignore it and return to sleep immediately. The explosion intensified, shaking the surroundings, prompting a furious warning from someone who had reached their limit with disturbances. Linbei sighed, relieved the system task was complete, though still frustrated by the absurdity of its ridiculous requirements. Linbei slumped in frustration, overwhelmed by his current situation, feeling trapped by the unreasonable demands of the system's tasks. A new system task appeared, forcing him to recite poetry to a random girl in the sect before dawn. Silence filled the night as Linbei hesitated, contemplating whether failure would be less embarrassing than completing the ridiculous task. The sect remained undisturbed, but tension loomed over Linbei, knowing that his fate depended on successfully completing the task. As dawn approached, a gathering of disciples formed, with Biyun standing at the front preparing to lead their next journey. Biyun called out names, ensuring all disciples were present, while others quietly wondered about Linbei's absence from the gathering. The group exchanged glances, curious about his whereabouts, while Guyuo remained silent, sensing something strange in the situation. Lin Bei, hiding nearby, muttered to himself, hoping to escape notice while the system continued pushing him forward mercilessly. Biyun noticed movement, her sharp gaze catching the slight rustling, making her wonder what was happening beyond her vision. The group set off without delay, leaving Lin Bei scrambling behind, realizing he had no choice but to follow. The flying boat soared above the mountains, carrying the disciples away from the sect, marking the beginning of their new journey. Lin Bei sighed in relief, feeling that leaving the sect might finally provide a temporary escape from his daily struggles. He blamed the system for his constant misfortunes, recalling the countless times it forced him into humiliating situations unwillingly. A new system notification reminded him of another unfinished task, adding another layer of frustration to his already troubled mind. Lin Bei realized that Guyue was also on the flying boat, making his next task far more difficult. Guyue stood at the doorway, her presence unexpected, leaving Lin Bei questioning why she appeared before him suddenly. The flying boat glided smoothly through the sky, leaving a golden streak behind as Lin Bei suddenly reacted to something unexpected. Lin Bei panicked, covering himself with both hands as he looked at Guyue, who was already staring at him suspiciously. Guyue's expression changed instantly, eyes wide with shock as she recoiled, calling him a disgrace for his inappropriate behavior. Lin Bei raised his arms slightly in confusion, questioning why he was the one being accused when she had overreacted first. A glowing notification appeared before Lin Bei, revealing that the system had unlocked a brand new feature related to his villain points. The system prompted Lin Bei, asking whether he wanted to spend 1,000 villain points to activate the newly unlocked feature. Lin Bei clenched his fists in frustration, annoyed at the system for demanding more points, knowing he had no choice but to comply. Guyue sighed, mentioning how her spiritual power had significantly improved during cultivation, making her more sensitive to energy shifts. She thought carefully about her recent progress, realizing the biggest change was the mysterious yin-yang dual lock mark on her forehead. Lin Bei's system displayed a cryptic response, implying that there were still additional functions tied to the technique that remained undiscovered. The system promised Lin Bei 100 villain points if he successfully revealed more hidden secrets of the yin-yang lock technique. Lin Bei straightened his posture, pretending to be professional, knowing that he needed to make his explanation convincing for Guyue. With a confident smirk, Lin Bei told Guyue that recreating the original scene was the best way to fully understand it. Guyue hesitated, narrowing her eyes as she questioned his intentions, suspecting that Lin Bei had something else planned. Before Guyue could react, an ethereal image appeared, replaying a projection of past events, leaving her completely stunned. Guyue raised her hand, frustration evident as she struck out, sending a strong force toward the unsuspecting figure before her. The impact sent a jolt through the air, leaving an undeniable mark as energy pulsed between them, forming an unshakable tension. Despite the situation, confusion filled the moment as realization set in, questioning the true nature of the system's unexpected interference. The system's influence had twisted reality, forcing unpredictable reactions, yet enduring a blow from Guyue seemed preferable to worse outcomes. Lin Bei braced himself, sensing the shift in Guyue's demeanor, unsure if the situation would escalate or take an unexpected turn. Cultivation required complete control, but interference from external forces brought unintended consequences, testing limits and disrupting the natural flow of progress. Lin Bei understood the risks, yet the system forced actions beyond his intent, altering perceptions and weaving chaos into his existence. The system's interference pushed boundaries, earning points at the cost of stability, fueling an uncertain path filled with unforeseen consequences. Standing his ground, Lin Bei prepared for the inevitable response, his mind calculating the next step amidst unpredictable variables. Guyue's gaze sharpened, analyzing the situation, her expression unreadable as the tension between them deepened into something far more complex. Lin Bei hesitated, questioning if his tactics had truly worked, the reality of the moment defying all rational expectations. The weight of the system's control pressed heavily, guiding actions while obscuring intentions, creating an unpredictable game of reactions and responses. Villain points increased, confirming the effectiveness of the system's mechanics, though Lin Bei wondered if the cost outweighed the supposed gains. Guyue remained composed, unreadable in her expression, but a subtle shift suggested the situation had taken an unexpected direction. Lin Bei's mind raced, analyzing the progression, yet confusion settled as the system displayed an unusual affection progression between them. Guyue's expression shifted, uncertainty flashing in her golden eyes as tension built, her stance firm yet hesitation lingered between them. A golden glow surrounded Lin Bei as warmth embraced him, his body drifting weightlessly in an unfamiliar space of energy. The sensation felt calming, like floating beneath the sun, yet an unexplainable force wrapped around him, shifting the atmosphere. A sudden shift disrupted the tranquility, an overwhelming energy forming around him as a cold sensation spread throughout his body. Lin Bei's consciousness stirred as the warmth faded, replaced by an unfamiliar pressure, sending a shiver through his entire form. His vision cleared, revealing Gu Yue, her expression filled with confusion, both caught in an unexpected shift beyond their control. Lin Bei's surroundings blurred, the sensation of falling growing stronger as reality distorted, leaving him disoriented in the shifting environment. The ocean's surface replaced the sky, waves crashing around as the realization struck, confusion filling the air between them. Gu Yue struggled against the currents, her disbelief evident as they found themselves stranded in an unknown expanse of water. The distant land appeared foreign, eerie blue flames flickering atop twisted trees, casting an ominous glow over the unfamiliar landscape. The sudden change of scenery left them questioning the cause, an unexplainable force pulling them towards something beyond their understanding. Moments before, energy crackled in the air, golden light pulsing as an ominous force disrupted the tranquility of the night. A fiery projectile sliced through the air, piercing the barrier of protection, its intensity revealing an unseen danger approaching fast. The crimson energy struck its target, sending powerful waves of destruction rippling outward, distorting the fabric of the surrounding space. The Lingxi mirror trembled under the attack, reflecting an unknown force, energy rebounding in unpredictable directions across the night sky. The collision triggered an unstable reaction, engulfing everything in its path, distorting time and space with an overwhelming burst of energy. A crimson force shot forward, clashing violently with the golden barrier, sending a powerful shockwave that distorted the surrounding space. Fiery Biyun's gaze sharpened as she sensed the chaotic energy, her grip tightening around the Lingxi mirror reflecting the spreading distortion. The ominous aura revealed a demon realm rift, its sudden manifestation raising alarms about an unstable force breaching into their world. Qingting adjusted his glasses, his silver hair gleaming under the moonlight as he noticed Lin Bei and Gu Yue missing. Shock flashed in Biyun's eyes as she turned, realization sinking in that neither Lin Bei nor Gu Yue were anywhere in sight. Zixiao Zhenren stood calmly in his purple robes, observing the situation as the lingering energy pointed toward the foreign flame demon realm. Qingting furrowed his brows, his analytical mind racing as he traced the rift's patterns, confirming an unnatural displacement of energy. Biyun remained tense, recognizing the dangerous implications of a forced teleportation through a demon realm rift's unstable flame patterns. Determination flared in her expression as she considered sending her true body to Qingzhou in order to retrieve Lin Bei and Gu Yue. Qingting intervened, his tone firm as he reminded her that the heavenly embryo 5-star array required all 5 of them present. Old Man voice remained composed as he explained that a single absence would destabilize the array, risking an outer realm demon invasion. Biyun's expression darkened, torn between responsibility and urgency, her mind searching for another way to resolve the growing crisis. A silent moment passed before she acknowledged the weight of the decision, shifting her focus to a less reckless alternative. Zixiao Zhenren remained watchful, sensing her hesitation, his presence a reminder of the delicate balance they had to maintain. Qingting adjusted his glasses once more, concern evident as uncertainty about Lin Bei and Gu Yue's fate lingered. Biyun's crimson eyes reflected determination as she stood under the moonlight, ready to take matters into her own hands alone. The fishing line remained still as the sunset reflected across the water, creating a peaceful yet uneventful moment by the shore. Lin Bei sat patiently, watching the fire spirit bird beside him, its bright feathers flickering under the warm glow of dusk. The small creature chirped before hopping onto his shoulder, its curious eyes fixed on the fishing rod resting silently in place. Hours passed without a single catch, frustration creeping in as Lin Bei stared at the empty bucket beside him. Suddenly, exhaustion overcame him, and he dozed off, unaware of the tiny fire spirits gathering around him playfully. Lin Bei opened his eyes to find several small fire spirits perched on his head, their warmth oddly comforting despite his annoyance. Gu Yue approached from behind, her presence unnoticed as she observed his unimpressive fishing results with silent amusement. The reflection in the water revealed only flickering flames, making it clear that Lin Bei had caught nothing the entire time. A deep sigh escaped as his patience finally wore thin, his frustration evident after hours of effort without success. His hands clenched tightly around the fishing rod, determination surging as he refused to accept complete failure so easily. Lin Bei mumbled under his breath, his pride unwilling to accept that he had not caught anything the entire day. Gu Yue laughed, the amusement evident in her expression as she questioned his so-called fishing skills with lighthearted teasing. The fire spirits joined in, their tiny voices creating an almost mocking chorus as they flitted around his head playfully. Before he could respond, the fishing rod suddenly jerked forward, the line pulled violently into the darkening water. Lin Bei's eyes lit up with excitement as he gripped the rod tightly, sensing the undeniable weight of something massive. Lin Bei grinned, securing his grip as he prepared to chase his catch, excitement gleaming in his determined expression. The water erupted as he lunged forward, vanishing beneath the surface while Gu Yue reached out, startled by his sudden action. The crackling fire flickered against the night, the warmth contrasting the eerie silence surrounding the empty fishing spot. Gu Yue sat near the fire, impatience growing as she glanced at the empty surroundings, wondering about Lin Bei's whereabouts. A massive dark shape emerged from the water, the fishing rod still attached, hinting at something far more dangerous beneath. A giant serpentine creature burst forth, towering over the water, its glowing red eyes locking onto Gu Yue's startled expression. Lin Bei, mid-air, realized the immense size of the beast, its sharp fangs gleaming under the moonlight as it lunged. Gu Yue braced herself, her instincts sharpening as the serpent's power became evident, its fierce aura pressing down heavily. The beast roared, thrashing violently, sending waves crashing as its body coiled, preparing to strike with overwhelming force. Lin Bei maneuvered swiftly, dodging the incoming attack as streaks of golden energy clashed against the serpent's dark scales. The battle intensified as Lin Bei countered, his figure moving through the mist, landing a precise blow against the beast. Dust and debris clouded the air, forcing Gu Yue to cover her mouth, struggling to maintain visibility through the chaos. The serpent recoiled, its massive form collapsing, sending shockwaves across the battlefield, its resistance fading under the relentless assault. Lin Bei smirked, retrieving a golden sword effortlessly, its radiant glow illuminating the battlefield as he prepared the finishing move. The blade gleamed as Lin Bei admired its convenience, its summoned form seamlessly aiding him in executing the perfect strike. Lin Bei grinned as the golden sword materialized in his grasp, its radiant glow illuminating the battlefield against the lingering darkness. Lin Bei examined the burning pill in his hand, its energy pulsing as he recognized the significance of its potential strength. A translucent screen appeared, detailing his progress, techniques, and abilities, revealing his growing power within the Foundation establishment realm. He clenched his fist, determination rising as he calculated how many more cores he needed to refine his beast flame. Gu Yue scoffed at his excitement, unimpressed by his obsession with gathering an unknown flame instead of something more renowned. She crossed her arms, pointing out that others might mistake his enthusiasm for obtaining one of the legendary exotic flames. Golden flames danced in the air, their intense glow illuminating the darkness, forming a shape resembling a mythical dragon's fierce silhouette. Lin Bei remained unfazed, knowing that few cultivators could ever hope to acquire a single flame, let alone a powerful one. Gu Yue's gaze remained steady, her confidence unwavering as she compared Lin Bei's meager find to something truly legendary. Lin Bei shrugged, dismissing her words as he decided to explore the surrounding area instead of engaging in more arguments. Gu Yue sighed, watching him leave, the seemingly endless terrain stretching far beyond the lake with little hope of discovery. The flames flickered against the night sky as Gu Yue reflected on the passing days, realizing how long they had been stranded. Concern clouded her features as she considered the possibility of never escaping, the isolation beginning to weigh heavily on her. Lin Bei placed a hand on her head, his expression confident as he reassured her of their inevitable return. He turned away, ready to leave the campfire, his movements decisive as if already knowing the direction he needed to take. Gu Yue watched his figure disappear into the darkness, the flames flickering as her trust in him unconsciously continued to grow. Gu Yue gazed at the vast night sky, her expression unreadable as she stood in silence, lost in her thoughts. Lin Bei struggled to hide his uncertainty, knowing he had no real plan to escape this unfamiliar place. Hunger gnawed at him, his body weak from exhaustion, the endless journey making every step heavier. After searching for food all day, regret filled his mind for not preparing before leaving. Something brushed against his face, an unexpected sensation sending a chill through his body. The smoky scent of grilled meat drifted through the air, igniting a hunger in Lin Bei that he could not ignore. If food existed here, then so did other people, proof that he was not completely alone in this strange land. He followed the scent, moving swiftly as his curiosity and hunger pushed him forward. A dark cave entrance loomed before him, the source of the scent buried within its depths. He was certain this cave had not been here before, yet now it stood in front of him, undeniable and mysterious. Lin Bei took cautious steps forward, sensing an unnatural force lingering within the cave's presence. Above him, dark clouds twisted ominously, an unsettling energy crackling in the air. The sky itself appeared distorted, as if reality was unraveling before his eyes. A deep void formed beneath him, revealing something impossible to comprehend. His heart pounded as the realization set in, his mind racing to make sense of the terrifying sight before him. Lin Bei sat near the mysterious hole, watching its endless darkness as an eerie silence filled the cold night air. He gripped his glowing staff tightly, curiosity sparking in his eyes as he considered testing the unknown depth before him. With careful movements, he tossed a small object into the hole, waiting to see any reaction from the abyss below. The object descended, glowing faintly before vanishing into the swirling void, leaving only uncertainty lingering in Lin Bei's mind. His golden eyes widened as an uneasy feeling crept over him, sensing something far stranger than he had imagined. Time passed, yet no sound came from below, making Lin Bei realize the hole's depth might be beyond comprehension. He stretched his tired limbs, yawning as he tried to shake off the lingering exhaustion from the endless night. If something existed within the hole, it remained hidden, refusing to reveal itself despite his constant attempts at testing it. The morning light cast golden hues across the barren land, a sharp contrast to the darkness lurking beneath the surface. With determination, Lin Bei prepared to leave, convinced that Gu Yue needed to see this strange phenomenon for herself. The small object from before suddenly resurfaced, lying on the ground as if untouched by the abyss it had entered. Footsteps echoed as Gu Yue approached, her sharp gaze fixed on the mysterious object resting on the dusty surface. Lin Bei turned toward her, relieved she had come, knowing they needed to uncover whatever secrets this strange place held. The realization struck them. Both the hole did not lead to destruction, but something entirely different from what they had expected. Without hesitation, they leaped into the unknown, their figures vanishing into the swirling depths of the mysterious portal below. Lin Bei and Gu Yue floated in the eerie sky, surrounded by an unfamiliar world hidden beneath the surface. The landscape stretched before them, completely different from the world above, filled with shadows and unknown dangers lurking ahead. Gu Yue pointed forward, spotting two distant cities glowing faintly under the dark sky, their presence raising countless questions. Without hesitation, they moved toward the mysterious cities, determined to uncover the truth behind this strange underground world. As they flew through the air, glowing red eyes emerged from the darkness below, watching their every movement intently. A sudden force surged toward them, disrupting their flight as an ominous energy crackled dangerously in the surrounding air. Gu Yue reacted instantly, golden light radiating around her as she prepared to counter the unknown attack approaching rapidly. A powerful energy beam sliced through the air, narrowly missing Lin Bei as he twisted mid-air to evade danger. The attack crashed violently against a distant structure, igniting flames that spread quickly through the already ominous environment. Lin Bei sensed a dangerous presence lurking in the forest, something waiting for them with hostile intent hidden in shadows. A dark figure emerged from the undergrowth, its glowing red eyes fixed on them with an unsettling predatory gaze. Heavy footsteps echoed as a monstrous clawed hand pressed against the ground, revealing a terrifying creature with unnatural features. The beast's fangs gleamed under the dim light, saliva dripping as it let out a guttural growl filled with menace. Lin Bei and Gu Yue stood firm, their instincts warning them that this was not an ordinary creature from this world. More glowing eyes appeared, revealing an entire pack of monstrous three-headed beasts surrounding them, their deep growls filling the air. The monstrous beast lunged forward, its blazing red eyes locked onto Lin Bei and Gu Yue as it prepared to strike. A powerful force erupted beneath the beast, sending a shockwave through the battlefield as the ground trembled violently. Lin Bei assessed the situation, realizing they could not move forward unless they eliminated the threat blocking their path. Flames erupted as Gu Yue unleashed a powerful technique, golden energy swirling around her as she channeled immense power. Lin Bei followed suit, summoning a dazzling light infused with his sword, preparing to counter the overwhelming enemy in front. The monstrous creature roared, its aura darkening as red energy pulsed from within, intensifying the violent force surrounding it. Gu Yue's golden flames clashed with the beast's attack, sparks flying as the battlefield turned into a chaotic inferno. Lin Bei moved swiftly, his sword cutting through the air, aiming for the beast's weak spot amidst the raging flames. The beast countered with a ferocious strike, dark energy spiraling toward Lin Bei as he dodged with incredible speed. Gu Yue and Lin Bei launched a combined assault, their attacks merging into a radiant force breaking through the darkness. A massive sword appeared, its golden glow illuminating the battlefield as an unknown warrior descended with overwhelming energy. Lin Bei's eyes widened as the powerful newcomer took charge, their presence shifting the tide of battle instantly. The warrior raised their weapon, an intense force gathering as they prepared to deliver a decisive blow to the beast. The monstrous creature recoiled, sensing danger as it attempted to escape, but the warrior's attack struck with devastating precision. Lin Bei stood back, watching as the battlefield settled, knowing a new force had changed their path forward. Lin Bei and Gu Yue watched as the dust settled, unsure if their combined attacks had weakened the monstrous creature. The beast stood unfazed, its dark aura surging as it absorbed the impact without showing any signs of injury. Lin Bei realized the creature's power surpassed expectations, its strength exceeding even those at the Golden Core stage. The monster roared, its massive form lunging forward with terrifying force, shaking the battlefield beneath its overwhelming presence. Gu Yue activated a defensive technique, golden flames forming around her as Lin Bei reinforced their barrier against the impending attack. A sudden shockwave erupted as the beast struck, sending cracks through the ground while energy rippled outward from the impact. Lin Bei and Gu Yue steadied themselves, feeling the immense pressure radiating from the creature as it prepared another strike. The ground trembled as the beast unleashed its full power, a dark pillar of energy shooting toward the sky. Gu Yue's eyes widened, sensing something sinister within the attack, an energy far beyond anything she had encountered before. Lin Bei clenched his fists, realizing the battlefield had shifted, and their enemy had only begun revealing its true strength. The beast's aura thickened, its presence rivaling the power of figures Lin Bei once thought untouchable in cultivation history. Gu Yue staggered slightly, comparing the creature's energy to that of legendary figures whose strength shaped the world's balance. Lin Bei gritted his teeth, refusing to accept defeat, his determination burning despite the overwhelming force pressing against them. The beast lunged again, its dark claws tearing through the air, aiming to crush them under its monstrous power. Lin Bei reacted instinctively, golden energy surging as he moved, pushing Gu Yue away from the creature's lethal strike. Lin Bei swiftly turned, his instincts warning him of the incoming attack as crimson energy streaked through the air. Gu Yue clutched her wounds, pain coursing through her body as crimson energy crackled violently, leaving her barely able to stand. Her vision blurred, dizziness consuming her senses as she struggled to comprehend why her strength was fading so rapidly. The monstrous presence loomed closer, preparing another devastating strike while her body remained frozen, unresponsive to her desperate attempts to move. She lay motionless, her breathing unsteady, unable to call for help as the enemy's dark aura thickened around her. Darkness clouded her vision, uncertainty filling her heart as the overwhelming force made her question if this was truly the end. A golden-clad figure stood firm, observing the battlefield, sensing the fading aura of those unable to withstand the beast's strength. Biyun's celestial energy stirred, the golden flames of fate shifting as the four great laws prepared to reverse impending disaster. The moment had reached its breaking point, and the fragile balance of destiny could no longer withstand the impending collapse. The hourglass of fate shattered, golden sands reversing as time itself trembled under the intervention of an unseen force. Reality warped as the timeline rewound, pulling everything backward toward a pivotal moment before destruction could claim its final victory. Ancient symbols glowed brightly, each power acknowledging the alteration of destiny as existence trembled under their divine authority. The celestial forces observed, their influence bending time's flow as reality shifted under their unshakable decree. The gateway between worlds activated, its engraved runes responding as energy surged, restoring the severed connection between timelines. In a distant land, Biyun stood before the rift, her golden eyes unwavering as she witnessed fate's delicate correction. The forced ritual to open the path had succeeded, but the true consequences of reversing fate had yet to unfold. Biyun stepped forward, instructing the others to remain behind as she entered the mysterious red portal with determined confidence. The crack in space pulsated, shifting violently as energy surged, signaling that something beyond the veil had changed drastically. Gu Yue tumbled onto the ground, her weakened body barely able to react as she struggled to regain her balance. Lin Bei appeared beside her, his clothes torn, his exhausted expression revealing the immense battle he had barely survived. Shocked observers stared at them in disbelief, unable to comprehend how they had emerged alive after such an intense battle. Gu Yue looked around, her mind racing with questions as she realized Lin Bei was right beneath her, barely conscious. Lin Bei groaned, forcing himself up, while Gu Yue quickly adjusted herself, feeling an overwhelming mix of exhaustion and relief. Biyun, still preparing to enter the portal, froze in shock as unexpected movements disrupted her intended course of action. She blinked, her mind struggling to process the sudden turn of events as relief and confusion flooded her expression. Lin Bei sat up, realization dawning as a notification confirmed their survival, the mission completed with unexpected success. Qing Ting stared at Lin Bei and Gu Yue in disbelief, amazed they had survived such a dangerous ordeal on their own. He explained that Biyun had struggled to open the crack and was preparing to enter when they unexpectedly returned unharmed. The scene turned awkward as everyone processed the situation, realizing Byun's hard work had been unnecessary after their sudden appearance. Lin Bei and Qingting looked up in shock, their eyes widening as something unexpected occurred near the portal's entrance. A glowing airship soared through the night sky, its presence signaling a significant change in Lin Bei's fate and future. Lin Bei stared at the floating screen, recalling his near-death moment. Questions filled his mind as uncertainty loomed over his existence. Frustration surged as he examined his hand, a strange tattoo appearing where nothing existed before. He demanded answers from the unknown. The floating text mocked him, demanding an impossible payment. The cost for understanding his own body left him speechless and conflicted. Shocked by the demand, Lin Bei clenched his fist. The absurdity of his situation made him question his path forward. The holographic screen flickered, displaying warnings. Lin Bei frowned, realizing there were consequences for past actions beyond his control. The system's judgment weighed heavily. His previous recklessness resulted in penalties, stripping him of precious points necessary for survival. The warning intensified, reminding him of the irreversible cost. Each mistake brought harsher consequences, pushing him toward an unavoidable fate. His frustration exploded, slamming his hand against the wall. The sensation of burning etched deeper, reminding him of his limited choices. Gu Yu appeared suddenly, dressed unusually. Her presence distracted Lin Bei, shifting his attention away from his escalating troubles. The unexpected appearance left Lin Bei confused. His mind raced, unsure if this was another trick or something entirely unexpected. His gaze lingered on Gu Yu's expression. The absurdity of the situation dawned on him as tension filled the air. The moment grew heavier. Lin Bei realized there was an unspoken understanding between them, something neither could immediately explain. Before he could react, Gu Yue moved closer. The situation spiraled beyond his control, leaving no room for rational thought. In an instant, their lips met. Lin Bei's mind went blank, caught between surprise and the weight of the moment. Gu Yue stood close, her eyes reflecting emotions she rarely showed. The air between them carried an unspoken weight of gratitude. She questioned his actions, recalling that moment of self-sacrifice. Her heart pounded as she sought understanding behind Lin Bei's decisions. Lin Bei smirked, dismissing the question with a quiet certainty. He could not explain his own impulse in that instant. Gu Yue struggled with confusion, her emotions tangled. She tried to understand her own reaction as she looked into his eyes. Instinct guided her movements. Her heart raced, unsure of the reason, yet unable to resist the pull drawing them closer. Gu Yue's hand pressed against Lin Bei's chest. A quiet moment passed as emotions settled, unspoken thoughts filling the space. Silhouetted by the fading light, they stood together. That night, a profound shift in energy altered their cultivation paths forever. Their combined strength surged, unlocking hidden potential. The intense synchronization expanded Lin Bei's dantian, pushing his power beyond previous limits. Villain points accumulated rapidly as Lin Bei's cultivation advanced. Gu Yue's foundation strengthened, surpassing expectations, reaching a new peak state. Meanwhile, in Dan City, an unknown figure observed from the shadows. The night concealed secrets, setting events into motion unseen. Xiao Miao sat calmly, reflecting on past hardships. Despite family setbacks, his determination remained strong as he pushed forward with unwavering focus. After months of effort, he discovered an opportunity. Advancement to the Golden Core stage became possible, marking a turning point in cultivation. His talent secured recognition, earning him the title of third-rank alchemist. Joining Dan Yuan's sect further strengthened his growing reputation. He located rare spiritual herbs in Dan City. With careful planning, he believed these resources would aid in his revival. In the shadows, vengeful figures watched. Their crimson eyes burned with hatred, waiting for the moment to strike against Xiao Miao. Xiao Miao coughed up blood, his body trembling. A sudden wave of pain surged through him, disrupting his focused cultivation process. The old man observed him closely, sensing something unusual. Xiao Miao's energy fluctuated violently, causing concern for what had changed. Confusion filled Xiao Miao's eyes as he clutched his chest. A deep pain made him feel like something had vanished forever. A mysterious force drained his luck, leaving only remnants. Xiao Miao struggled to understand why his fortune was suddenly deteriorating. Meanwhile, Lin Bei rested as an airship soared through the sky. Unaware of the shifts, his fate continued to unfold. Lin Bei stirred from his slumber, memories of the previous night lingering. Everything felt too vivid, as if reality had shifted. He recalled every detail, the emotions lingering. His mind raced through fragmented images, unsure what was real and what was imagined. Beside him, Gu Yu remained asleep, unaware of his inner turmoil. The weight of uncertainty pressed against Lin Bei's restless thoughts. He turned, carefully observing her peaceful expression. A strange mix of emotions swirled within him as he processed the situation. His thoughts were disrupted by the morning light. Uncertainty lingered in his gaze as he struggled to comprehend what had transpired. Lin Bei sat up, trying to ground himself in reality. Everything around him felt surreal, leaving his mind clouded with uncertainty. Realization struck, making his heart race. He struggled to process the situation, unable to distinguish between dreams and reality anymore. He panicked, gripping the blanket tightly. The cold air sent a shiver through him, making him fully aware of his surroundings. The shock intensified as everything sank in. His emotions spiraled out of control, causing his thoughts to blur in overwhelming confusion. Suddenly, an unexpected force sent him airborne. The airship loomed in the distance as chaos unraveled before he could react. The airship glided through the sky, approaching Pill City. The towering structures below signified an important destination for upcoming events. The floating island of Pill City appeared ahead. Its prominence marked it as a center of trade, power, and opportunity. Disciples arrived at the city's entrance. Their journey had been long, but a new chapter awaited with unknown challenges ahead. 2 disciples observed Lin Bei, sensing a change. His demeanor was different, radiating an aura they had not seen before. Lin Bei stood confidently, an undeniable presence surrounding him. His appearance alone left onlookers stunned, his radiance making him seem untouchable. Qing Ting walked beside Lin Bei, grinning. His sunglasses hid his expression, but his tone carried excitement for their next adventure. Lin Bei remained composed despite Qing Ting's enthusiasm. He had no interest in distractions, focused entirely on his own cultivation progress. Qing Ting studied Lin Bei, sensing something unusual. His recent experiences had changed him in ways that remained difficult to explain. Biyun stood nearby, watching Lin Bei closely. She recognized something in him, though she could not immediately understand why. With 7 days until the competition, Pill City bustled with activity. People moved freely, seizing opportunities before the upcoming event. A system notification appeared before Lin Bei. Urgency filled the message, warning of an opportunity tied to Xiao Miao's fortune. His heart raced at the revelation. Missing this chance could lead to devastating consequences, forcing him into immediate action. The bustling city streets stretched before him. Traders, warriors, and scholars moved through the market, each seeking valuable resources. Lin Bei contemplated recent developments. His rapid cultivation progress had brought him closer to a breakthrough that once seemed unattainable. Merchants called out, promoting their goods. Rare spiritual herbs and exotic flowers filled the stalls, each promising powerful effects for cultivators. Lin Bei approached the merchant, selecting valuable spiritual herbs. His actions drew attention, disrupting expectations and setting events into motion. Excitement filled the air as Lin Bei made a decisive purchase. The unexpected generosity left bystanders shocked at his sudden boldness. A voice interrupted, claiming ownership of the herbs. Lin Bei's sharp instincts reacted, recognizing the familiar tone from past encounters. His gaze locked onto the approaching figure. Xiao Miao stood defiantly, his frustration growing at losing the precious herbs to someone else. Lin Bei activated his system, analyzing the unknown challenger. The price was steep, but the information could prove useful in time. The system revealed the challenger's identity. Lin Bei's eyes widened as he processed the truth behind Ziqing's real nature and background. Ziqing stood firmly against Xiao Miao. Her presence carried an unusual aura, signaling something far greater than appearances suggested. Xiao Miao refused to back down, his frustration growing. His claim over the herbs remained firm despite the escalating situation. Ziqing remained unmoved, dismissing Xiao Miao's reasoning. Her unwavering stance made it clear she would not surrender so easily. The system's warning intensified. Lin Bei hesitated, realizing the outcome of this conflict could drastically affect his future survival. Lin Bei clenched his fist, deciding to intervene. Allowing the conflict to continue could create unpredictable consequences he could not afford. Without hesitation, he launched a small attack. The strike sent a clear message, breaking the standoff between the two opponents. Xiao Miao reacted in pain, caught off guard by the sudden assault. The force knocked him off balance, disrupting his composure. The shock rippled through the surroundings. Xiao Miao staggered, his frustration shifting toward anger as he searched for the unexpected attacker. His furious gaze scanned the area. The interference left him demanding answers, unsure of who dared to strike first. Lin Bei approached Xiao Miao with a confident stride. His presence alone sparked tension as their unresolved conflict resurfaced immediately. Xiao Miao's expression darkened, filled with resentment. Seeing Lin Bei again reignited old frustrations, pushing him toward an unavoidable confrontation. Lin Bei remained calm, observing his opponent. His relaxed demeanor only fueled Xiao Miao's anger, making the tension even more volatile. Xiao Miao's emotions erupted, declaring his intent to settle their score. The air vibrated as his energy surged with overwhelming power. He unleashed his technique, striking forward with fierce determination. A powerful blue aura enveloped his palm, aiming directly at Lin Bei. Lin Bei countered swiftly, summoning his golden sword. A radiant force clashed against Xiao Miao's attack, creating a massive shockwave. The impact sent ripples across the battlefield. Dust and flames erupted as their techniques collided, drawing attention from the surrounding spectators. Ziqing stood nearby, gripping her weapon. Her sharp gaze assessed the battle, calculating the best course of action carefully. Lin Bei's strength impressed Ziqing, though she remained cautious. His rapid growth proved unpredictable, making him an even greater threat. Lin Bei stepped forward confidently, taunting Xiao Miao. His cultivation had advanced beyond expectations, making it clear he was now stronger. Xiao Miao's frustration peaked as he charged. His movements were reckless, driven by anger rather than strategy, leaving him vulnerable. He leaped through the air, his sword gleaming. His full strength aimed to overpower Lin Bei in a decisive strike. Lin Bei reacted swiftly, blocking the attack. Sparks flew as their weapons clashed, shaking the ground beneath their intense battle. The force of their strikes echoed through the arena. Xiao Miao's frustration deepened as Lin Bei deflected each move effortlessly. A shadowy figure watched from afar, eyes glowing red. The battle's outcome held deeper consequences than either of them realized. Lin Bei's sword clashed with Xiao Miao's attack. The force sent shockwaves through the air, shaking the entire battlefield violently. A brilliant explosion erupted from the impact. The surrounding area trembled as energy surged, sending debris flying in every direction. Smoke and dust filled the battlefield. The aftermath of the explosion obscured visibility, leaving only a faint outline of Xiao Miao. As the dust settled, Lin Bei analyzed the situation. His cultivation was improving, but he still lagged behind Xiao Miao's strength. Lin Bei steadied himself, acknowledging his disadvantage. Overpowering Xiao Miao in direct combat seemed impossible, forcing him to consider an alternative approach. Lin Bei glanced at Ziqing, weighing his options. A direct confrontation was reckless, but another strategy could turn things around. He made a swift decision, reaching for Ziqing. If strength alone was insufficient, then deception would be his best weapon. Lin Bei grabbed Ziqing's wrist, preparing to retreat. His smirk masked his urgency, but he had no intention of losing. Xiao Miao clenched his sword, frustration rising. Lin Bei's ability to escape at crucial moments always left him enraged beyond reason. Determination burned in Xiao Miao's eyes. If Lin Bei had truly arrived in Pill City, then a greater battle awaited them. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, recalling his defeat. His humiliation burned deep, fueling a vengeful determination to reclaim his lost honor. Lin Bei walked down the grand steps of the temple, sunlight casting a warm glow over the ancient structure. His silver hair caught the light as he smiled. Bai Nan, standing nearby, observed him with curiosity and gratitude. Ziqing, her masked face partially hidden in the shadows, studied Lin Bei with quiet interest as they stood in the marketplace. The marketplace bustled with life as they walked through, the scent of rare herbs and incense lingering in the air. The towering auction house loomed before them, its golden rooftop reflecting the sky, promising treasures within its grand hall. The auction hall filled with anticipation as the elegant Li Zhen stepped onto the stage, commanding attention with a confident presence. Her golden hair cascaded over her shoulders as she raised a hand, signaling the start of the long-awaited event. Lin Bei watched closely, noting the sharp intelligence in her eyes as she prepared to introduce the first item. Bai Nan whispered softly, recalling stories about Li Zhen's reputation and her influence over Pill City's powerful factions. The audience murmured with excitement as Li Zhen gestured toward the display case, revealing the first treasure of the night. The old man observed the stage, his sharp eyes fixed on the glowing herb, aware of its potential to accelerate cultivation immensely. Xiao Miao listened carefully as the old man confirmed the herb's power, explaining how it could push cultivators toward an advanced realm quickly. Li Zhen elegantly announced the beginning, her confident stance commanding attention as she prepared to present the highly anticipated first auctioned item. A monoxin pill was revealed, its golden glow radiating potent energy, drawing immediate interest from various bidders across the grand auction hall. The bidding escalated quickly, voices rising in excitement as cultivators competed fiercely, each determined to claim the powerful spiritual enhancement pill. Xiao Miao confidently raised his bidding number, smirking as he placed his offer, drawing attention from everyone within the grand auction hall. Lin Bei watched him closely, his golden eyes narrowing as he recognized the presence of someone who would challenge the auction fiercely. A confident expression spread across Lin Bei's face as he anticipated the upcoming bids, knowing the competition was only beginning. The auction hall filled with tension as a higher bid echoed through the room, making Xiao Miao turn in surprise. Xiao Miao's expression shifted, his sharp instincts recognizing a familiar voice, sending a wave of realization through him as he turned quickly. Lin Bei smirked at Xiao Miao, meeting his gaze. "Oh, we meet again, the rejected one." His confidence radiated in the auction. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, frustration burning. "Lin Bei, you're like a cursed shadow, always appearing where you're not wanted." Lin Bei sneered at him. "If you're done bidding, I'll take this item. 1,800 spirit stones?" Going once. Xiao Miao hesitated as his mentor's spirit appeared beside him. "I bid." But doubt clouded his mind. The mentor warned him. "This pill isn't worth it. You must be patient. Rushing will only lead to unnecessary losses." Li Zhen raised her hand, confirming the sale. 1,600 spirit stones, going 3 times. "Sold!" Lin Bei secured his victory. Xiao Miao lowered his head, frustration boiling within. "Damn it." Lin Bei won again, just like before. Li Zhen held up a shimmering stone for display. "The next item is Kongli ore. Starting bid at 800 spirit stones." Xiao Miao's anger flared as he stepped forward. "I bid 2,000 spirit stones." Determination burned in his eyes. Lin Bei chuckled, his smirk taunting. "Whatever Xiao Miao bids, I'll always add more." His confidence was unwavering. The mentor's voice echoed beside Xiao Miao. "Don't be reckless, it's overpriced. Focus on more valuable treasures instead." Xiao Miao sighed and nodded reluctantly. "I get it." His frustration simmered as he turned to the next auction item. Li Zhen raised an elegant hand. "The next item is a rare alchemical herb, Ziyunji. Starting price is 2,000 spirit stones." Xiao Miao gritted his teeth and raised his bid. 4,000 spirit stones. No one will dare challenge me now." Lin Bei smirked again, eyes gleaming. "I'll always outbid you, adding 100 spirit stones each time." Xiao Miao clenched his fists in rage. Lin Bei stood proudly, flashing a victorious grin while flaunting his winnings. The auction treasures shimmered under the glowing lights. Xiao Miao's rage boiled over as his mentor's voice tried to calm him. His clenched fists trembled with barely contained fury. Xiao Miao couldn't hold back any longer. His body lunged forward, ignoring all reason, as his anger completely took control. The wooden floor shook beneath his footsteps as he sprinted towards Lin Bei, determined to land a decisive strike. Li Zhen silently watched from a distance, her sharp gaze filled with curiosity. As the auction's tension reached its peak, Li Zhen stood tall, her expression cold as she struck down with force. The auction hall fell silent in shock. Xiao Miao staggered from the impact, pain surging through his body. The weight of her authority was impossible to ignore. A strange force lingered within Xiao Miao, shifting his fate. His fortune crumbled as an unseen power altered his destiny forever. Lin Bei sipped his tea with a satisfied smile. Watching Xiao Miao fall from grace was more amusing than expected. The old man observed Xiao Miao, noticing his unusual impatience. His disciple once strategized, but now emotion dictated his actions. Xiao Miao struggled to explain the sudden shift. A strange force deep inside him urged him to abandon caution and attack. Thoughts clashed in Xiao Miao's mind. If he held back, frustration would consume him, but recklessness might cost him everything. The old man reassured Xiao Miao. The right moment would come. The strange spirit herb could provide the answers they sought. Lin Bei watched with amusement. Every desired auction item had fallen into his hands, but something told him it wasn't over. Lin Bei sensed fate wasn't done playing with Xiao Miao. A final opportunity loomed, shifting the tides of destiny. Li Zhen commanded the room. The auction's grand finale approached, a mysterious treasure capable of altering fate itself. The final auction item emerged, a rare, unnamed spirit herb, shimmering with unknown potential, sourced from the legendary Dark Sea. Li Zhen emphasized the herb's unknown nature. No records existed, but its origins hinted at both opportunity and grave peril. The crowd murmured anxiously. The Dark Sea was an unpredictable force, bringing both fortune and disaster to those who sought it. Across Juzhou, legends spoke of distant lands. To the east, battlefields raged, while to the west, mysterious islands drifted. At the westernmost edge, the Dark Sea stretched endlessly. A shifting, living entity, it was both revered and feared. Whenever the Dark Sea neared Juzhou, treasures emerged from its depths, promising power beyond comprehension to those who dared. Some artifacts contained incredible power, granting their wielders the potential to surpass mortal limits and ascend as peerless masters. Others harbored insidious danger, stripping warriors of their essence, transforming them into hollowed husks, enslaved by the sea's unfathomable will. The old man's eyes lit up with recognition. He had seen the herb before in the murals of ancient ruins. In the ancient murals, figures gathered around a pedestal where the golden cocoon bloodgrass emitted an eerie golden glow. The land surrounding the ruins appeared desolate, suggesting that Herb's immense power had left a lasting mark on history. The old man explained its uses. The bloodgrass refined spirit pills that enhance cultivation, making it highly sought after. The golden cocoon portion could be used to cultivate the legendary empty cicada wing, an elusive technique shrouded in mystery. Li Zhen presented the unnamed herb to the bidders. Its price would be determined by those willing to take risks. The starting bid was set at 100,000 spirit stones. The auction hall filled with murmurs as tension rapidly escalated. Bidders eagerly raised their prices, shouting in excitement. The numbers soared, proving the herb's value was beyond mere speculation. Xiao Miao clenched his fists. This was his moment. He needed to obtain the golden cocoon bloodgrass at any cost. He boldly raised his bid to 1 million spirit stones, surprising the crowd. The tension in the auction hall reached its peak. Lin Bei analyzed the situation carefully. Betting 1 million spirit stones on himself was reckless, but it was Xiao Miao's nature. Li Zhen confirmed the current highest bid, asking if anyone dared to go further. A moment of hesitation spread across the hall. Lin Bei smirked, realizing an opportunity. He couldn't let Xiao Miao win so easily. He had to intervene strategically. The system offered a solution. By exchanging villain points, Lin Bei could seize all of Xiao Miao's spirit stones instantly. A hidden ability called Light Fingers allowed the theft of spirit stones under precise conditions, requiring 5,000 villain points to activate. Lin Bei activated Light Fingers, exchanging villain points for the ability to steal Xiao Miao's spirit stones without detection. The system deducted 5,000 villain points, confirming the activation. The golden glow of Light Fingers signaled its power in action. In the auction hall, an unnoticed shift occurred. A pouch shimmered faintly, causing confusion among nearby spectators watching the event unfold. Xiao Miao suddenly felt an odd sensation, his instincts flaring. Something felt off, but he couldn't pinpoint the exact issue. Lin Bei extended his glowing hand, executing the technique. His fingers moved swiftly, snatching the spirit stones with perfect precision. Xiao Miao froze, sensing an abnormality. His instincts screamed at him, but he remained unaware of the true cause behind it. The system confirmed Lin Bei's success, transferring 2,500,000 spirit stones into his possession. Luck had played a major role. Lin Bei grinned, feeling triumphant. The overwhelming fortune he had gained made him appear untouchable in the ongoing auction battle. The old man watched Xiao Miao, noticing his sudden change in expression. His face had paled, signaling deep internal panic. Li Zhen resumed the auction, announcing Xiao Miao's final bid. The golden cocoon herb remained up for grabs in the competition. The auction intensified. Xiao Miao placed another bid, unaware his fortune had already vanished into Lin Bei's hands. Lin Bei feigned confidence, pretending to hesitate before increasing his bid further, testing the reactions of his unsuspecting opponent. Xiao Miao remained oblivious, fully believing he had the spirit stones to continue, his determination unwavering in this crucial moment. Lin Bei smirked, questioning if Xiao Miao had checked his funds. Suspicion flickered across Xiao Miao's face as realization struck. Panic consumed Xiao Miao as he grabbed his storage pouch, only to find it empty. Every last spirit stone had vanished. Xiao Miao burned with rage, his fury igniting as he realized he had been played. His frustration reached its breaking point. Lin Bei enjoyed his victory, satisfied with how things had unfolded. The feeling of using Xiao Miao's spirit stones was exhilarating. The auctioneer called out the final bids. The tension in the hall remained as Lin Bei's price stood unchallenged. Li Zhen smiled as she announced the winner. Lin Bei had successfully secured the rare Black Sea herb for himself. The entrance of the auction hall was crowded as guests finalized their transactions, leaving with the treasures they had acquired. Lin Bei received the unnamed spirit herb, his victory cemented. He calmly accepted it, showing no concern for his surroundings. Xiao Miao clenched his fists tightly, his anger barely contained. His spirit stones were gone, leaving him completely powerless. Lin Bei smirked as he faced Xiao Miao, relishing in his triumph. He held the spirit herb with undeniable confidence. The realization hit Xiao Miao like a thunderbolt. Everything he had fought for was now in Lin Bei's hands. Lin Bei mocked Xiao Miao, savoring his frustration. The auction had proven once again that power was dictated by wealth. Xiao Miao seethed with rage, his patience shattered. The humiliation of losing everything burned deep in his heart. Lin Bei casually tossed the spirit herb, tauntingly emphasizing Xiao Miao's failure. The difference in power had never been clearer. Xiao Miao charged recklessly, his emotions getting the better of him. His desperation clouded any sense of reason or restraint. The old man watched in shock as Xiao Miao collapsed. His body trembled, his fortune reduced, while Lin Bei's power grew. The auction had ended, and the streets were alive with movement. The tension between Lin Bei and Xiao Miao remained. Ziqing observed from a distance, analyzing the situation. She could sense deep resentment lingering in the air. Lin Bei strolled confidently, speaking to his companion. He had reasons for targeting Xiao Miao, reasons that ran far deeper. The past lingered in Lin Bei's mind. He recalled his first encounter with Xiao Miao, an event filled with bitter memories. Ziqing clenched her fist, recalling her own experiences. She had known Xiao Miao was selfish, but this confirmed everything. Lin Bei smirked as he observed Xiao Miao's downfall, satisfied with how things had turned out in his favor. The system notified Lin Bei that Bai Qing now disliked Xiao Miao, further shifting the balance of fortune. As night fell, Gu Yue prepared to leave, knowing her presence in the city was no longer needed. The distant figure of Gu Yue's departing boat disappeared into the horizon, leaving behind those who wished to stop her. Lin Bei was shocked to hear of Gu Yue's sudden departure, realizing he had been left with more questions. Biyun calmly explained Gu Yue's situation, revealing that her father had already retrieved her and taken her home. She handed Lin Bei a memory stone, a message left by Gu Yue's father that contained important words. The stone activated, revealing Gu Yue's father sternly rejecting Lin Bei, forbidding him from seeing her again. He mocked Lin Bei's weakness, questioning how someone lacking strength could ever hope to stand beside Gu Yue. Biyun watched quietly, unimpressed by the declaration, already deciding how she would handle the situation moving forward. Gu Yue questioned herself, wondering if she truly lacked the strength to control her own destiny and make her own choices. Memories of past encounters overwhelmed Gu Yue, replaying moments that made her realize the limits of her own power. Lin Bei stood in deep thought, reflecting on the harsh words and deciding he wouldn't let fate control him any longer. Determined to move forward, Lin Bei met Biyun, sensing that she held the key to his next path. Biyun handed over a pill, insisting it would aid his growth and strengthen his foundation for future challenges. Lin Bei examined the pill carefully, realizing its rare quality and the immense boost it could provide to his cultivation. The golden pill rested inside the ornate box, holding the power to refine spiritual energy and enhance breakthrough potential. With a confident smile, Lin Bei expressed gratitude, understanding the value of the pill and the advantage it would bring. A secluded training chamber awaited as he prepared to absorb the pill's power without distractions or interference from others. Despite the growing tension, Lin Bei dismissed the warnings, certain that his system's cultivation method would ensure his rise to power. Determined to grow stronger, Lin Bei focused on his next move, preparing to push past his limits in cultivation. A powerful opponent loomed ahead, and Lin Bei knew surpassing Xiao Miao before the upcoming tournament was his priority. Valuable resources from the auction needed refining, so he sorted out essential items, discarding anything deemed unnecessary. The system processed the treasures, converting them into villain points, rewarding his strategic decisions with further cultivation resources. The golden cocoon bloodgrass could unlock a hidden technique, but the exchange required a steep number of villain points. The golden cocoon bloodgrass had an incredible use, refining into a pill that could directly advance a cultivator to new heights. Just 4 pills could push a cultivator to the peak of the golden core stage, unlocking immense latent potential. The system recognized the bloodgrass in Lin Bei's possession, offering him a powerful breakthrough in exchange for villain points. Without hesitation, Lin Bei finalized the exchange, securing powerful pills and strengthening his path toward the tournament. With his fortune rising, Lin Bei prepared for the Trisect tournament, ensuring Xiao Miao would fall before his growing strength. Lin Bei sat in deep meditation, golden energy swirling around him as he focused on advancing his cultivation, feeling power surging within. A golden core condensed in the void, radiating immense energy as it stabilized, signaling the critical moment of his breakthrough. Cracks formed on the core's surface, its structure weakening as the energy inside it built up, ready to explode outward. With a sudden burst, the core shattered, releasing a surge of divine energy, reshaping Lin Bei's cultivation and refining his body. His golden eyes gleamed with power, his breakthrough successful, his strength now far beyond what it had been before. The sky shimmered as golden light descended, signaling the start of an important event that would gather powerful individuals. 5 days later, a grand fortress stood tall, its gates open, inviting martial artists and cultivators from various sects. Qing Ting adjusted his sunglasses, smirking as he observed the grand hall filled with eager disciples awaiting the upcoming competition. Xuanyi sat elegantly, her red dress draping over the chair as she watched the crowd with an amused expression. She leaned forward slightly, tapping her fingers, knowing there was still time before the tournament began, yet excitement filled the air. A voice echoed through the fortress, announcing the arrival of another challenger, drawing everyone's attention toward the entrance. Xiao Miao landed gracefully, his long black hair tied back, exuding a quiet but intimidating presence as he assessed the competition. Tan Shan appeared next, his red robes flowing as he grinned confidently, a small rabbit perched on his shoulder. Lin Bei's system suddenly reacted, alerting him to a newly discovered child of destiny, increasing his wariness of this newcomer. Information about Tan Shan materialized, revealing his chaotic alignment and self-proclaimed superiority, making Lin Bei cautious of his unpredictable nature. A man stood at the front of the gathering, addressing the participants as the competition was about to officially commence. The Tri-Sect Tournament's first event was an alchemy competition, testing each participant's skill in refining a 4th-grade Yunling Yuan pill. Lin Bei calmly observed the competition area, analyzing the challenge ahead while maintaining his usual composed demeanor. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, determined to win the competition and secure the precious pills necessary for his cultivation breakthrough. An old man with a blue aura spoke, advising Xiao Miao to remain calm and focus to avoid repeating past mistakes. An old man with a blue aura observed Xiao Miao, offering advice, ensuring he remained focused and composed throughout the intense competition ahead. Xiao Miao nodded, his determination growing as he prepared himself mentally for the challenges he would soon face. Lin Bei stood in the distance, analyzing the situation, recognizing another child of destiny had appeared, making things more complicated. His thoughts shifted to Xiao Miao, realizing he needed to weaken his luck and eliminate him before he became a real threat. The competition officially began, with Xiao Miao, Li Wuj, and Lin Bei stepping forward, each representing their respective sects. Flames burst around the alchemy furnaces as each competitor focused on refining their pills, demonstrating skill and precision. Xiao Miao carefully adjusted the ingredients, ensuring the pill's essence was extracted flawlessly while maintaining his composure. Lin Bei hesitated for a moment, realizing he lacked the qualifications of a 4th-grade alchemist, questioning his ability to succeed. The system prompted him with an option, suggesting he exchange villain points for a 4th-grade alchemy skill to match the competition. Instead of settling for a 4th-grade skill, Lin Bei confidently chose a 5th-grade skill, ensuring he would surpass expectations. Lin Bei exchanged 20,000 villain points for a 5th-grade alchemy skill, leaving him with nothing, forcing him to find another way. His eyes widened in shock as he processed the sudden loss, realizing he had no remaining villain points left. A system message reminded him to work harder and earn more villain points if he wanted to reunite with OUA. Lin Bei clenched his fists, feeling frustrated as he glared at Xiao Miao and Tan Shan, seeing them as rivals. Tan Shan stood confidently before his furnace, watching the golden flames rise as he felt assured of his impending victory. Gasps erupted among the audience as an unexpected tribulation formed above the alchemy furnaces, marking a significant turning point. The glowing tribulation indicated that a pill of 5th grade or higher had been successfully refined, leaving everyone stunned. Xuanyi smirked while watching the tribulation unfold, feeling confident that her sect would win the alchemy competition. Yanling narrowed his eyes, warning that the situation had yet to fully develop and celebrating too early was foolish. A powerful surge of red tribulation lightning crackled above, surpassing ordinary green tribulation lightning, elevating the challenge to an extreme level. Xiao Miao focused intently, his energy surging as he prepared to face the tribulation lightning and complete the alchemy competition. A massive explosion erupted, sending shockwaves through the arena as unstable furnaces shattered under the overwhelming pressure. A glowing spiritual hand emerged, offering assistance in the midst of the chaos, stabilizing the remnants of the destruction. A man expressed gratitude, recognizing the crucial support that had allowed him to remain in the competition despite the circumstances. Xiao Miao's face lit up with happiness, feeling victorious as he realized his efforts had led to an incredible breakthrough. A massive red tribulation lightning bolt descended, striking the furnace violently, causing the entire arena to shake from its impact. Tan Shan's eyes widened as he watched the overwhelming force above, realizing the tribulation was beyond anything he had expected. Hooded figures in the distance observed the event in silence, their presence adding an eerie tension to the unfolding situation. Biyun rushed forward, her expression filled with concern as she called out anxiously, fearing for Lin Bei's safety. The arena was left in chaos as the dust settled, revealing the aftermath of the intense battle between the participants. Xiao Miao stood proudly, his energy surging as he declared victory, confident in his ability to claim the winning prize. The old man beside him warned against arrogance, sensing the dangers that could arise if Xiao Miao let his emotions take control. Xiao Miao felt a sense of accomplishment, believing he had finally surpassed Lin Bei and established himself as a true contender. Suddenly, an ominous presence approached, causing Xiao Miao to turn with a serious expression, prepared for the unexpected challenge ahead. Lin Bei emerged from the dust, standing beside his furnace, unfazed by the chaos around him as he remained composed. Tan Shan watched in shock, realizing that Lin Bei was still standing, unaffected by the tribulations that had occurred earlier. Golden lightning crackled in the sky, marking a rare phenomenon only experienced by alchemists capable of refining higher-grade pills successfully. Observers marveled at the golden pill tribulation, recognizing it as a sign of exceptional talent displayed by a young alchemist. A new challenger stepped forward, smiling confidently, ready to take on Xiao Miao as the next phase of the battle began. The ground trembled as golden lightning descended, sending waves of energy across the battlefield, shocking everyone witnessing the incredible event. Xiao Miao stood next to the old man, his confidence shaken as he struggled to understand the situation unfolding before him. The old man sighed, his energy flickering as he admitted he had expended too much strength in protecting Xiao Miao earlier. With a solemn expression, the old man warned Xiao Miao that he would now have to rely on his own abilities. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, determined to remain calm, remembering the advice to control his emotions and think strategically moving forward. Xiao Miao clenched his fists, determined to prove himself as he recalled the words of the old man guiding him. Tan Shan pointed accusingly, mocking Xiao Miao's failure, claiming he had attempted to redirect tribulation lightning but failed miserably. Xiao Miao's junior defended him, insisting that misfortune and cultivation was natural, urging him to learn from hardships rather than complain. Tan Shan smirked, questioning whether Xiao Miao would label every enemy's scheme as despicable rather than overcoming challenges through his own strength. Frustrated, Xiao Miao accused Tan Shan of siding with outsiders, but Tan Shan calmly stated that truth mattered more than loyalty. A spectator smirked, amused by the growing tension within the sect, watching how conflicts revealed true character among the disciples. Xuanyi smiled confidently, enjoying the power struggles within the sect, knowing internal division would make victory easier for her faction. A high-ranking sect member sighed, expressing frustration that certain individuals were only protected because of their powerful backers within the sect. Lin Bei raised his hand, revealing his completed pill, golden light radiating from it as he confidently prepared to make his move. Xiao Miao remained frozen for a moment, realizing Lin Bei had completed his pill first and now had the upper hand. Lin Bei smirked, pretending to have forgotten about Xiao Miao's furnace explosion, adding mockery to the already intense competition. Xiao Miao's face darkened as he processed the situation, realizing that Lin Bei had easily surpassed him in this alchemy challenge. Spectators watched the brewing tension between Lin Bei and Xiao Miao, wondering whether their conflict would escalate into an outright battle. In the middle of the arena, Lin Bei and Xiao Miao stood opposite each other, their presence overwhelming the atmosphere. Xiao Miao tensed as Lin Bei calmly observed him, knowing that any moment now, one of them would have to act. Xiao Miao raised his hand in surrender, admitting defeat as the battle reached its final moments in the tournament. He glared at Lin Bei, vowing to challenge him again in the future, unwilling to accept complete humiliation. Lin Bei remained composed, analyzing Xiao Miao's luck, realizing the system had already begun affecting his fate negatively. The announcer declared Lin Bei as the competition's winner, marking the end of the intense alchemy battle between rivals. Lin Bei walked forward confidently, already preparing for the next challenge as the tournament's second round approached. Qing Ting smirked confidently, promising an impressive performance, showing no signs of doubt in his abilities. He adjusted his sunglasses, preparing to demonstrate his skills, determined to prove himself in the upcoming competition. Lin Bei observed carefully, waiting to see what Qing Ting was capable of, maintaining his usual calm demeanor. A massive explosion erupted, sending Qing Ting crashing into the ground as his attempt ended in complete failure. Tan Shan watched Lin Bei, realizing he had underestimated him, sensing an even greater challenge awaiting ahead. Tan Shan stepped forward confidently, casting his gaze toward Lin Bei and the other Qingyun sect disciples standing in the background. With a smirk, Tan Shan mocked the Qingyun sect's weakness, making it clear he had no respect for their strength. Biyun smiled, playfully mocking Qilian sect, suggesting their arrogance might not match their actual abilities in battle. Xuanyi chuckled, amused by the ongoing rivalry, watching the competition unfold with growing excitement and anticipation for the next round. Biyun questioned Xuanyi about the Danyuan sect's decision to offer a mysterious item as a reward for the competition. The ancient treasure had been sealed for 1,000 years, waiting for someone with fate to finally unlock its hidden potential. Xuanyi smirked, wondering why the item was being offered now instead of saving it for a more prestigious tournament. A mustached man observed quietly, calculating the deeper meaning behind the treasure's sudden appearance in this ongoing competition. The tournament list revealed the third-round matchups, confirming Lin Bei, Xiao Miao, Bai Qing, and Tan Shan advancing. Lin Bei turned in shock as Bai Nan, now revealing her true self, greeted him with a confident yet playful smile. Bai Nan confirmed her real name, surprising Lin Bei, who had always known her as Bai Qing, a male competitor. She teased Lin Bei, hinting at a secret reward for the top 3, urging him not to lose prematurely. The tournament's hidden prize was rumored to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, adding even more stakes to the competition. Lin Bei sighed, realizing that everything had become far more complicated than expected, as challenges kept appearing without pause. Lin Bei glanced at the tournament board, analyzing his next match as the final rounds quickly approached with growing anticipation. Tan Shan smirked confidently, eager to face Lin Bei, fully convinced that he was destined to win the competition. The third round began, with Lai Wuji and Xiao Miao stepping into the arena for their long-awaited duel. The semifinals were set, featuring Lin Bei, Bai Nan, Xiao Miao, and Tan Shan as the final 4 competitors. A mysterious treasure chest was unveiled, its golden glow hinting at an unimaginable power, drawing everyone's curiosity. Biyun stood with confidence as she questioned the significance of the mysterious reward, watching the competition unfold before her eyes. Xuanyi listened to Biyun's words while thinking about the sect's concerns. She contemplated the strange artifact's true hidden potential. The crowd murmured as they debated the origins of Tan Shan's arrogance, wondering what made him so influential within Qi Lian. Many speculated about the Elder's involvement, realizing Tan Shan held power beyond strength, backed by figures controlling the sect's future. Tan Shan stepped onto the battlefield with determination. His match against Lin Bei was finally about to begin under the moonlight. Spectators grew restless when Tan Shan failed to arrive, making them question his whereabouts. The tension in the competition steadily rose. Lin Bei smirked, realizing Tan Shan was absent. He anticipated victory without fighting, but something unusual seemed to be happening. In a distant forest, Tan Shan searched frantically for Xiao Wu. His concern grew as he called out in desperation. He stumbled upon Xiao Wu's location, only to see something shocking. His heart pounded, fearing the worst had already happened. Tan Shan's eyes widened as he saw Xiao Wu trapped. Tears streamed down his face, emotions overwhelming him in disbelief. A sharp object flew through the air, striking near Xiao Wu. Tan Shan rushed forward, determined to protect his companion. Tan Shan gently held Xiao Wu, checking for injuries. His protective instincts kicked in as he felt anger rising within him. He clenched his fists in frustration. Lin Bei was behind this, and Tan Shan swore he would make him pay. A bright glow surrounded Xiao Wu, catching Tan Shan off guard. Something unexpected was happening, shaking the forest around them. A sudden explosion of light erupted, shocking Tan Shan. Whatever transformation was occurring, he knew everything was about to change. A mysterious woman appeared in the distance, her presence commanding attention as the atmosphere grew tense with silent anticipation. Her sharp eyes gleamed with determination, reflecting an unwavering resolve that sent chills down the spines of those watching. She took a firm stance, exuding confidence as the wind brushed against her, carrying the weight of an impending battle. Tan Shan's expression shifted as he observed her movements, sensing that something significant was about to unfold before him. Lin Bei smirked, his gaze locked onto Tan Shan, knowing that the next exchange would determine the course of their confrontation. The official raised the flag, signaling Tan Shan's failure to arrive in time, officially declaring Lin Bei as the victorious participant. The audience watched in awe as the arena reflected the overwhelming moment, marking a decisive victory in the grand tournament. Suddenly, a massive burst of energy erupted from the sky, signaling an unexpected arrival that changed the course of events. Tan Shan finally arrived, his expression filled with anger and determination as he set his sights firmly on Lin Bei. Lin Bei smirked confidently at Tan Shan's arrival, already prepared to reveal the surprise he had been saving for him. A fierce declaration echoed across the battlefield as Lin Bei stood firm, his eyes burning with determination under the bright sky. The grand arena buzzed with excitement as spectators watched the unfolding events, unaware of the unseen forces shaping fate in the competition. Lin Bei stood calmly, his gaze sharp as he observed the chaos, knowing his actions had subtly altered the course of destiny. Tan Shan's fate took an abrupt turn as an unseen force disrupted his path, causing a significant shift in his fortune. Crushed by the sudden misfortune, Tan Shan felt his luck draining, his spirit beast gone, and his future slipping away. A vision of Tan Shan's fate appeared, his opportunities dwindling rapidly, signaling the beginning of an irreversible downfall in his destiny. Lin Bei examined the battlefield with a quiet determination, acknowledging the significance of the upcoming match while contemplating past memories. The next round commenced, pitting Xiao Miao against Bai Nan, both determined to prove their strength and secure victory. Lin Bei felt an odd sensation watching Bai Nan, as if something familiar lingered in her presence, stirring old emotions. Memories of Guyue surfaced, reminding Lin Bei of the bond they once shared, now replaced by an unsettling emptiness. The past weighed heavily on Lin Bei's thoughts, recalling the moment their engagement was annulled and how fate had divided them. Guyue stared at the endless sky, lost in thoughts of the person who had vanished from her life without explanation. A sudden chill passed through the air, causing her to shiver, though her mind was occupied with memories of Lin Bei. Elder Xu reminded her of the dangers ahead, cautioning her about the harsh climate of the cold jade snowfield. Her heart ached as longing filled her eyes, the distance between them growing unbearable despite the passage of time. Clutching her chest, she whispered Lin Bei's name, silently wishing for his safety while the tournament continued without him. Bainan gripped her sword firmly, standing in the arena as the cheers and expectations of the crowd echoed around her. Xiao Miao pointed angrily toward Lin Bei, attempting to sway Bainan's decision by portraying him as a manipulative and deceitful person. Xiao Miao's confidence surged as he spoke, convinced that Bainan would abandon Lin Bei and choose to follow his path instead. Bainan felt conflicted, her expression shifting as she processed Xiao Miao's words, unsure whether to trust her own instincts. Lin Bei calmly observed Xiao Miao, recognizing his manipulative tactics and countering his argument with a firm belief in Bainan's strength. Bainan's eyes lit up with determination as she realized that her growth and future were not dependent on anyone else. Xiao Miao's frustration erupted as he prepared to attack, determined to make Bainan regret rejecting his so-called guidance and support. Lightning crackled around Xiao Miao as he launched forward, his movements fueled by anger as he tried to overpower Bainan. Bainan met his strike head-on, fire and electricity clashing in a dazzling display of raw energy across the battlefield. The duel intensified, sparks flying as both fighters unleashed their abilities, neither willing to back down from the fierce confrontation. Bainan's sword clashed with Xiao Miao's, the impact sending shockwaves as both combatants struggled for dominance over the other. Xiao Miao retaliated with a powerful strike, sending Bainan hurtling through the air toward the edge of the arena. Bainan spun midair, trying to regain control, but the overwhelming force behind Xiao Miao's attack made it nearly impossible. Xiao Miao watched Bainan's descent, his grip tightening around his weapon, his patience wearing thin as frustration clouded his judgment. He struggled to stand, determination in his eyes, as she realized that giving up was never an option for he. Xiao Miao's eyes glowed with an eerie light, as an overwhelming power awakened within him, sending a sinister aura throughout the arena. A fiery transformation engulfed Xiao Miao, his entire body radiating demonic energy as intricate markings appeared across his face and forehead. The crowd gasped in shock as Xiao Miao embraced his newfound strength, his presence now resembling a terrifying embodiment of destruction. Spectators murmured in awe, recognizing the legendary Golden Core phenomenon and its immense power that only a few cultivators could attain. A distant elder explained the phenomenon, describing how cultivators could leave powerful marks on their golden core as a sign of mastery. Xiao Miao reveled in his newfound strength, knowing that his golden core phenomenon symbolized both his talent and his superior abilities. Biyun analyzed the situation carefully, understanding that while the phenomenon granted immense power, it came with severe energy consumption limitations. Xuanyi watched silently from a distance, his gaze sharp as he evaluated Xiao Miao's abilities and the consequences of his recklessness. A man observed the unfolding battle, recognizing that Xiao Miao's arrogance could ultimately lead to his downfall in combat. Xiao Miao's expression darkened as he realized Bainan still refused to stand beside him, choosing Lin Bei over his strength. Xiao Miao's eyes burned with intensity as his power surged, channeling his rage into an overwhelming force that radiated across the battlefield. A massive inferno erupted around him, shaping into a fiery beast that roared with untamed fury, shaking the entire arena. The flaming beast lunged forward with terrifying speed, its blazing claws tearing through the air as waves of heat engulfed everything. Bainan's eyes widened in shock as the inferno closed in, the sheer pressure threatening to consume her in an instant.